Andrade, fuck Andrade, pussy ass.
When do you think we can make that happen? When do you think we can make that happen? When do you think we can make that happen?
Soon. I mean, soon as your team and you get, your stuff together,
I am a clown. I am a clown.
Nobody wants to fight Andrade at 160. He was coming up. Nobody wants to fight Andrade at 160. He was coming up.
Nobody wants to fight Andrade at 160. He's coming up.
Nobody wants to fight Andrade at 160. He was coming up.
See, and this is another dude admitting the same thing that we all been trying to say for the longest time. Nobody wants to fight Andrade. So why is it that you have guys like David Benavidez and Jason Quigley, dudes like that, who admit that nobody wants to fight Demetrius Andrade, but according to all Canelo fans and according to all these other dudes, these fanboy channels and these other dudes, nobody's ducking Andrade. He's a horrible fighter. No one's ducking Andrade. That's what these niggas like to say. Nobody ducking Andrade. But David Benavidez just said nobody wants to fight him. So is he lying? Is David Benavidez lying? Is Jason Quigley lying? Or are dudes like Canelo lying when they say Andrade's a horrible fighter? Or are these fanboy channels lying when they say nobody ducking Andrade? You tell me, but let's keep it going.
168. I'm having a hard time to find people who want to fight me. We both want the big names, and we both hold. We both.
And the big names that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Andrade ducking Yanabek to fight Benavidez, make sense. Both Andrade and Benavidez are looking for the biggest fights that they can possibly make. Why? Because that's what you're supposed to do as a fighter. You're supposed to look for the biggest and best fights in and around your weight division. So I don't know what these dudes are talking about when they talk what they talk. But let's keep going.
Hold weight in both of our, in both of our promotion companies. We got big names too. So why not? I think that's the best fight we can make. Just fight each other, and then the winner goes to the next level.
So where did, okay, you're saying it's negotiations, but in the interview,
that's the right goddamn attitude. That's the right goddamn attitude. Let's just fight. We're gonna see, and the winner goes to the next level. That's the right motherfucking attitude, man. I want to step up. I want to fight the best. Let's see who's the best, and then the winner get the recognition that they deserve to get as the best. That's how the fuck it's supposed to go.
percent you want to fight him. It's nothing that like, oh, he's gonna make me look bad. Oh, this is a bad fight, style wise. He doesn't bring anything to the table. Like you want him next.
He brings a lot to the table. He's a great champion.
He brings a lot to the table. He's a great champion.
Man, he brings a lot to the table. He's a great champion.
Oh, okay. So he does bring something to the table. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting that David Benavidez is saying something completely different than all these other niggas are saying. David Benavidez is saying he brings something to the table, even though Samson and all these other motherfuckers, Jermall Charlo and these other dudes, say that he don't bring nothing to the table. So does he bring something to the table, or does he not bring something to the table? Let him know what it is, David. What is it?
He's been champion in 2 weight classes. How is he not going to bring anything to the table? He's been here for longer than I am, so how is he not going to bring anything to the table?
He's been champion in 2 weight classes. How is he not going to bring anything to the table? He's been here for longer than I am, so how is he not going to bring anything to the table?
Oh my God. Oh my God, really? How is he not going to bring anything to the table? He's been a champion longer than I've been here. These are David Benavidez's words. These are his words. He's been a champion longer than I've been here. So how does he not bring anything to the table? How does a 2-weight division undefeated champion not bring anything to the table? You know? But let's keep it going.
I'm not that type of fighter. Be like, oh yeah, he's, you know, his name's not big enough. Man, fuck that. You know, we're both boxers. We're both at 168. We've both been world champion. Let's make the fight happen. It's not that hard. You know, a lot of people are just, they don't want to make fights happen, so they got to come up with excuses. Oh, I'm a bigger star than him. He doesn't bring anything to the table. I'm the A.
World champion, let's make the fight happen. It's not that hard. You know, a lot of people are just, they don't want to make fights happen, so they got to come up with excuses. Oh, I'm a bigger star than him. He doesn't bring anything to the table. I'm the A.
Hey, David Benavidez exposing the game on these dudes, bro. He exposing the game on these dudes, man. He just told you. David Benavidez just told you, when these dudes don't want to fight, they say everything but let's fight. They make up all these excuses about not bringing nothing to the table. They say that people are horrible fighters. They say 60-40, 70-30. They say other side of the street. They say all these other things when they don't want to make the fights happen. David Benavidez just told you. So as a real boxing fan, how can you listen to a guy like David Benavidez and say anything other than, you right, you right, you know? But let's keep it going, man. Matter of fact, hold on. Let rewind that part, goddamn. That was good. That was some good information. Say that again for him, David.
So they got to come up with excuses. Oh, I'm a bigger star than him. He doesn't bring anything to the table. I'm the A side. He's the B side. Man, that's all bullshit at the end of the day. That's all bullshit at the end of the day.
That's all bullshit at the end of the day.
That's all you.
All bullshit at the end of the day. Ain't that what your boy King David always be saying? All bullshit at the end of the day.
Here now.
Yeah, but that's why I'm not gonna do that. I'm not even gonna entertain that. I just want to get to the next level, and I got a career too, and I'm not gonna put my career on hold. You know what I mean? I want to fight the best, and if I can't get Caleb Plant, if I can't get Charlo, if I can't get Canelo, Andrade is the next best thing.
With Andrade, it's always been said that people are afraid to fight him, and that he hasn't had a big fight to really like put him over against anybody. Like, why do you feel that like people have been hesitant to fight him?
Because he's a good fighter. He's a lefty. He has power. He moves around a lot. Because he's a good fighter. He's a lefty. He has power. He moves around a lot.
Because he's a good fighter, he's a lefty, he has power, he moves around a lot.
Tell me why this dude's saying everything that I've been saying for the last 2-3 years. You know, he just said it all in about 2 seconds. Everything that I've been saying for the last 2-3 years, but also the antithesis to everything that these other dudes have been saying. Well, let's keep moving.
World Andrade is known by a lot of people. He's respected by a lot of people, and a lot of people don't want to fight him because he's a big risk.
And a lot of people don't want to fight him because he's a big risk.
You know, a lot of people, like I said, at 160, they all thought they were going to fight Canelo, so they didn't want to fight him.
60, they all thought they were going to fight Canelo, so they didn't want to fight him. 60, they all thought they were going to fight Canelo, so they didn't want to fight him.
Now at 168, if he comes up, he does the same shit. You know, it's probably the same thing's going to happen to him. So I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be the one, you know, I'm not going to risk a fight or whatever. I just want to fight the best of the best.
That's a real motherfucking fighter right there, David Benavidez, man. That's a real fighter. That's a real. I just want to fight the best. You only hear the best. You only hear the best fighters say that shit. I just want to fight the best. Bud says it. Devin Haney says it. Demetrius Andrade says it. These dudes say it. I just want to fight the best. You know what I mean?
If you check it out, Mexicans used to be very great fighters. When you go back to old school, old Mexicans, they were tough. They fight anybody on a challenge. They're not today's Mexicans. They all duck top black boxers.
Canelo, you a bitch. I'm putting it out there.
What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? What they do? Yeah. It's your boy King David in this thing, man. What it do, bro? Salute to everybody, man. Salute to all the real boxing fans out here, man. I say salute to all the real boxing fans out here, man. What it do, man? It's your boy King David in this thing, man. Y'all know what it is. If y'all new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that goddamn like button one time for your boy. You know. Let me make sure that sound is good, because you know I got a history of sound issues. So let me make sure that sound is good. Bear with your boy one moment. And make sure that sound is good. Okay, I think we're doing good, man. I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good. So far, so good. You know what I mean? Again, salute to all the real boxing fans out there, man. You know what I mean? All my real boxing heads, man. Again, man, if y'all new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that goddamn like button one time for your boy. I appreciate everybody for sliding through on this live today. You know what I mean? You know, because we're going to be talking some major boxing talk tonight. You know what I mean? We're going to be talking some major boxing talk. You know what I mean? Let me see. I got some guys out here in the building. My guy Modern King Boxing is in the building. Salute to you, Modern King. He got the flames out. Salute to you, Modern King. Y'all be sure to subscribe to Modern King Boxing in the motherfucking building. I see my guy Ghost is in the building. Salute to you, Ghost. You know what I mean? Also in the motherfucking building. Okay, salute to y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a look at this poll, because I got a poll going on right now. You know what I mean? I got a poll going on. So let's go to the poll, and then I'm going to read the comments, and then I'm going to get cooking. So let's go to the poll. The poll says, the question is, who do you think Demetrius Andrade should go after next? You know what I mean? That's what the poll is. You know what I mean? I got 43% of y'all, right? I got 7 votes. 43% of y'all says, oh, just changed. I got 38% of y'all that says, Demetrius Andrade should go after Jermall Charlo next. Okay. I got 38% of y'all saying that. You know what I mean? I got 38% of y'all. So I got a tie right now. I got another 38% of y'all saying he should go after David Benavidez next. You know what I mean? I got another 38% of y'all saying David should be next. You know what I mean? I got 25% of y'all that says he should go after Yanabek Alimkanuli next. 25% of y'all. I wonder how many of y'all know who Yanabek is. You know what I mean? I wonder y'all who even know who he is. You know what I mean? But I have 25% of y'all that says he should go after Yanabek Alimkanuli. You know what I mean? And then I got 0%. I got nobody right now that voted and said that he should go after Zach Parker, which is interesting. You know what I mean? Because the Zach Parker fight is the fight that puts Andrade in the position to become a 3-time world champion. So I'm surprised that nobody voted for Zach Parker. You know what I mean? You know, but people are voting for Alimkanuli, which is a fight that, although it would be a good fight, isn't necessarily a fight that puts Andrade in any kind of position for anything, you know? Nevertheless, those are the polls right now. As far as what your boy voted for, I think your boy King David, I vote for David Benavidez. I think Andrade should go after David Benavidez next. I will thoroughly explain why in this live, you know what I mean? But either way, it should be either David Benavidez or Jermall Charlo is who Andrade should try to go after next, in my personal opinion. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about it. We're going to get all the way down and dirty into it. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and look at these comments before I get cooking, man. Let me go through these comments. Let me see what y'all talking about out here on these boxing streets. You know what I'm saying? My guy Ghost, hashtag Team Andrade for life, says Paul Andrade called Jose Benavidez Sr. to make that fight. They calling ducks where there are no ducks. Outpriced, lied to the world, scam the fans. Andrade wants them next. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I mean, we already kind of see what the move is because we see how Samson Litowitz is moving. You know what I mean? Clearly, there's a disconnect between David Benavidez and his handlers, you know? So already, that's a lot to talk about right there. That's quite a lot to talk about right there. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, I still have a lot of faith in David Benavidez. David Benavidez seems like a guy who's really looking to kind of push his limits and prove that he's the best. Therefore, I believe push come to shove, he'll get in the ring with a Demetrius Andrade, even if it's against the better wishes of his own promotional team. You know what I mean? In my opinion, that's how I'm thinking. You know what I mean? But we're going to talk a little bit about that more. We're going to talk a little bit. My guy Modern King Boxing says Team Andrade already. Yes, sir. Team Andrade already, man. Yeah, man. The few, the proud. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Andrade, for some reason, don't have a lot of fans. And I don't get why. I mean, I'll never understand why Andrade doesn't have more fans out here. The dude is exciting to watch. You know, he throws punches and bunches. He's always looking to knock his opponent out. The dude has superior boxing skills. I mean, he can pretty much do it all in the ring. He can pot shot. He can counter punch. He can use lateral movement. You know what I'm saying? He has the ability to make adjustments in the ring. The ring IQ is off the charts. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, you know, the dude can talk. You know, he got a talk game, man. He's funny. You know what I mean? He's not super aggressive with it. He's funny. He's a funny dude. You can listen to his interviews and be entertained. And that's what you want out of your boxers. You know what I mean? I don't get why dudes are so unhappy with Andrade. Why they hate on him so hard. All he's ever tried to do is fight the best competitions. So I can never for the life of me understand it. But yes, sir. My guy Modern King says, we know what it is. Jermall Charlo, you a sucker and PBC. Yeah, man. And you know, we're gonna talk about that. I ain't gonna go too much into that right now, but we're gonna talk about that. Jermall Charlo. You know what I mean? My guy Ghost says, Andrade said, let's drop our fights and fight. Everyone in Benavidez camp went quiet. Those are facts, though. Those are facts, though. You know, those are facts. And we're going to talk more about that, but those are facts. And people want to get on Andrade for calling out Chris Eubank, but it's like he's already, like, why is he calling out Chris Eubank? Because, he called out everybody else already. The nigga's literally going down the list of opponents and just calling them out. Like, he started at the top. He started at Canelo, worked his way all the way down, and he's just going all the way down the list. Whoever's the big name, whichever big name wants to get in the ring with me, that's who I want to fight next. That's literally what Andrade is doing. Yeah, and still, niggas still hop online and they want to criticize Andrade for calling out big names, which is what you're supposed to do. So you're supposed to want to fight in those big fights. You're supposed to want to challenge yourself against the quote, unquote, best competition out there. Am I right or am I right? You know what I mean? But let's keep it going now. My guy Modern King Boxing says True Media Global. Okay, salute to the True Media. Yes, sir. In the motherfucking building. Modern King Boxing says peace, God. Already. Yes, sir. Peace to the gods. Yes, sir. My guy Modern King also says, I'm listening. I have to ride my moped to the job, bro. I hear you, bro. It's like that sometimes. You got to do what you got to do, goddamn. I already know. You know what I mean? Modern King already says, shared already. I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate the good support you're showing your boy out here in these boxing streets. My guy, GK Black in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, fam. Appreciate you for coming through. He says, salute. Yes, sir. Salute to you, fam. My guy Go says, none of these dudes will fight Demetrius Bud. Demetrius team is trying to get Charlo or Lara next as Team Benavidez was already approached. Absolutely. But dudes don't want to talk about that. Dudes don't want to talk about that. But we're going to talk more about that because I believe Andrade needs to be a little more aggressive. That's my only thing about Andrade. He need to be a little more aggressive in calling these dudes out. You know what I mean? He need to be just a little more aggressive about calling these dudes out. Okay. My guy, Knockout Boxing 86 TV, also in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Y'all be sure to subscribe to the homie Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. He says, my vote was for Yanabek. Okay. Your vote is for Yanabek. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to open up the panel later on, as I always do. I'd like to hear why your vote is for Yanabek over Jermall and David Benavidez. You know what I mean? I would like to hear why. I think I have an idea. I mean, but I would like to hear it out of your own mouth why you would prefer a Yanabek fight over a Benavidez and a Charlo fight. But let's keep it going. My guy Ghost says at Knockout Boxing 86. Okay, y'all talking to each other. GK Black says, personally, I want to see Benavidez, but he might as well wipe the floor with Yanabek. And you know, I ain't, just to be clear, just to say it, just to be crystal clear, I ain't got no problem with the Yanabek fight, bro. If Andrade get in the ring with Yanabek, I ain't got no issues with it. You know what I mean? Because I know it's gonna be a good fight. You know, and I'm going to get my money's worth watching it. You know what I mean? But not only that, I got confidence in my guy that he's going to go in there and he's going to beat Yanabek. You know what I mean? Period. Maybe it might be a 12-round unanimous decision. He might not be able to do Yanabek like he did Jason Quigley, but I know he going to go in there and he going to get the W versus a Yanabek. So I ain't worried about it. I ain't got no problem with that fight popping off. I ain't got no issues with it, just to be crystal clear. You know what I mean? But the facts are that Andrade has already been in the ring with guys similar to Yanabek, and we're going to talk more about it. He's already been in the ring with guys like that. You know, it really brings him no closer to where he's trying to be as one of the best boxers in boxing, period. But let's keep it going. You know what I mean? Let's keep it going. My guy, Knockout Boxing 86 says, okay, y'all talking to each other. Modern King Boxing says, beating Indom don't make Yanabek a mandatory. Andrade was moving up to fight Zach Parker pre-injury. Yeah, man, 100%, man. You know, dudes like to sell Yanabek off of that Indom win, and it's like, bro. First of all, Yanabek didn't even knock Indom out like that. Bruh, that wasn't even an impressive fight for Yanabek. And over the hill, Indom, a dude that got dropped by Triple G like 6 or 7 times, like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, bro. Like, that fight is supposed to make a case for Yanabek being this big, scary guy or whatever it is you guys want to say. Yeah, look, man. Again, I say it again. I ain't got no issues with watching a Yanabek fight, bro. But at the end of the day, Andrade need to be going after the bigger and better opponents in and or around his weight division. Yanabek should be a last resort. Because at the end of the day, he's a non-motherfucking factor. Period. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. My guy GK Black says, watch the highlights on Yanabek last night. Got power and skills, but unathletic and slow reflexes. Too easy for Andrade. But low payday. Absolutely, man. And that's another thing we was gonna talk about it. That y'all gonna go through my live before I can even get to it. But let's address what my guy GK Black just said. You know what I mean? Got power, got skills, but unathletic. Yeah, he's gonna have to chase Andrade around the ring because he's not gonna be able to cut the ring off because his feet are too slow. So he's gonna have to chase Andrade around the ring. He's gonna get caught up in those traps. He's gonna get counterpunched and flurried, and it's gonna be very tough night for Yanabek at the end of the day. How I'm predicting it, but just like my guy GK Black just said, it's a low payday for Andrade. Do y'all not know that DAZN does not want to pay for this Yanabek Andrade fight? They don't even want to pay for it, y'all. They don't even want to pay for the Yanabek fight. You know what I mean? They like, fuck that fight. We don't want that fight. Top Rank gonna have to, Yanabek is a top rank fighter. Top Rank would have to put up the money in order to make sure this fight get done because DAZN don't even want to pay for it. You know what I mean? That's how insignificant this shit is, bro. But again, if the fight happened, I ain't got no problems. But let's not pretend that Andrade don't gotta take a pay cut in order to get in the ring with this dude. You know what I mean? But let's keep it going, though. My guy Modern King Boxing says knockout tripping, but I'm all for Yanabek. If these clowns keep ducking him, it's a super fight. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, bro. Like, if Andrade can't get these other dudes in the ring, fine. Go on and get in there with a Yanabek. Again, I got no issues with the fight. You know what I'm saying? My guy Modern King says we run boxing talk worldwide. Okay. Salute. Modern King Boxing. Again, subscribe to my boy. My guy C's in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, C's. You know what I'm saying? He say, fists up 100. Yes, sir. That's how we do, man. Always 100. You know what it is already. You know what I'm saying? My guy Knockout Boxing 86 TV say, okay, yeah, talking to Modern King. I'm going to let that slide. Modern King Boxing says, no doubt knockout at this point, certainly. Yeah, man. Okay. My guy, the villain in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, the villain. Salute to you, fam. He says, I picked Benavidez because a belt is at stake and they can make the most money. Enjoy the show. Absolutely. It makes the most business sense for Andrade and Benavidez to happen. But not only that, it means more to boxing, y'all. It means more to boxing to have David Benavidez, okay, a former world champion, a guy with a respectable name and respectable credibility in the sport of boxing, to face off against a two-time weight division champion, moving up to a third weight division champion in Demetrius Andrade. You know what I mean? It's a better fight. But not only is it a better fight, it's a bigger fight. But not only is it a bigger fight, it's a bigger money fight. Point blank period, all the way across the globe. You know what I mean? So absolutely, the villain, I 100% agree with you, fam. 155%. GK Black in the building. He says, at least Andrade calling out a middleweight and not a welterweight. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, bro. I can't tell you how cowardly some of these dudes sound when they call out these welterweights, you know what I'm saying? Or when they fight these welterweights, even worse, like when we saw Canelo Alvarez fight Amir Khan, you know what I'm saying? Or when we saw Triple G fight Kell Brook, you know what I'm saying? Just all these sorry excuse for fighters, fights that these guys, these so-called best fighters want to give us. It's just like, come on, bro. At the end of the day, you should be trying to call out all the biggest, best names in and or around your weight division, okay? You should be trying to collect belts. You should be trying to fight the tough competition. And any time that you're not doing that, bruh, you need to be called out for it, period. You need to be called out for it. Mr. T in the building, okay? Salute to you, Mr. T. He says, Espinoza says nobody wants to see Andrade Charlo. Matchmaker and promoter Tom Brown says nobody wants to see Andrade, and we PBC are not gonna pay for his fight. And we definitely gonna talk about that, Mr. T. These dudes of PBC always moving the goalposts. It's one thing today and then another thing the next day, right? Nobody wants to see Andrade, but people want to see Selecki. Is that what y'all trying to say? People don't want to see Andrade, but they want to see Selecki. They want to see Jermall Charlo fight Selecki. That's the fight that the people want to see, but they don't want to see Andrade, right? I mean, make this shit make sense to me. I mean, for real, for real. You know what I mean? They don't want to see Andrade, but they want to see Selecki. They want to see Hugo Centeno Jr. You know what I mean? they want to see all these other dudes that Jermall Charlo's getting in the ring with. They want to see these non-unification fights. Like, those are the fights that the people want to see according to PBC. But they don't want to see a Jermall Charlo versus a Demetrius Andrade, or Demetrius Andrade versus a David Benavidez. Nobody wants to see those fights, but they want to see Selecki. Make the shit make sense to me, y'all. For real, for real. Modern King says, correct. Yes, sir. Correct. Appreciate that, fam. My guy Cash in the building. Salute to you, Cash. He says Charlo versus Boo Boo is a damn near 10 years in the making. 155%, man. The shit makes zero sense. 10 years in the making. 10 years Demetrius Andrade's been calling the Charlo name. And for 10 years, it's always been one reason or another why the Charlo brothers are unable to step in the ring with a Demetrius Andrade. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there wasn't some issues in the past, because there was. But at the end of the day, the issues in the past should not stop you from doing business in the future. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're trying to call yourself the best fighter in your respective weight division, the only way to do that is to fight the best competition, period. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. GK Black says, what's crazy is I said early last year before Berlanga got exposed, I said Boo Boo should go after him since he got a Puerto Rican fan base and was on a KO streak. Yeah, man, that probably would have been a good fight to put together. But the thing about Berlanga is his handlers ain't gonna let him nowhere near a Demetrius Andrade if we keeping it a stack. They not gonna let that man nowhere near Andrade, point blank, period. They got Berlanga in there with Journeyman, and he's struggling with Journeyman. So what makes you think they even gonna consider putting him in the ring with a guy as dangerous as a Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade? It's just not gonna happen, point blank, period. End of discussion. My guy Go says, when Demetrius beats and schools Yanabek, they will say he fought a 12-0 prospect. We've seen this before. Remember the talks about Liam Williams and how Liam was gonna beat him. Absolutely, man. And you know, dudes want to pretend like they don't know about that, like the shit eludes them, like, you know what I mean, like that was so far in the past, you know what I mean, like it was in an alternate universe. That's how these niggas talk, like the Liam Williams situation was in an alternate universe. I remember niggas coming on my channel, all right, coming on my channel in my comment section talking cash money shit about how Liam Williams was gonna dog Demetrius Andrade. The same way they're talking about this Liam Williams dude. The same way, with the same swagger and the same type of vitriol in their talking points. I remember them saying the same shit. And guess what happened? Liam Williams got beat. Liam Williams got beat bad. It wasn't even close. Sure, he got in some good shots, and that's what punchers do. They get in good shots. But at the end of the day, the fight went exactly like we all thought the fight would go. Andrade completely schooled Liam Williams like he's going to completely school Yanabek Alam Kaluli. And you know what you guys are going to say? You're going to say Andrade fought with nobody. That's what you're going to say, right? We know what it is already. I mean, we know. Come on, y'all. My guy Modern King Boxing says, Jokers got boxing stuff messed up. Yanabek ain't no killer. He ain't about that life. He not about that life, y'all. You know what I mean? He not about that life. But it's gonna take for Andrade getting in a ring with this dude, beating him senseless, all right, for everybody to come to their senses about what Yanabek really is, you know. And then on top of that, y'all gonna continue to say Andrade fought with nobody. A 12-0 prospect. Yeah, we know what time it is. My guy, everybody fears Andrade in the motherfucking building, bro. Salute to you, fam. You know what I mean? It's been a little minute since I done a live about my guy, but you know, it's always in the works. Always. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I'm gonna read more comment and then I'm gonna start cooking. My guy Go says Andrade beat Yanabek. He gets 0 credit. Andrade somehow slips and loses to Yanabek. That's the end. It's a lose-lose. Win if you get none. Lose you get none. Yanabek fight is too early. Facts, man. Facts. Yeah, when you lose. And if it's a tough fight, you'll still lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. Like, y'all really gotta make this shit make sense with this Yanabek shit. But nevertheless, let's go on and get into the meat and potatoes of what the topic of the conversation is, right? And y'all see what the live is, right? The live is Demetrius Andrade needs to go after David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo now. Now is the time to go after these dudes. Now, I say this because I know Andrade's been trying to go after these guys the whole time. I know Andrade has been calling these dudes left, right, and center. You know what I mean? I know better than most of you guys know, right? But right now is a little different, right? Right now is a little, the circumstances have kind of changed a little bit, and I'll explain why, right? So we all know Demetrius Andrade is a dude that's been ducked his whole career. You know what I mean? We already know that, you know. But one thing I want to make clear before I even go further with this thing is what Andrade really needs in his career is a big name opponent, right? He needs a bigger name opponent, right? Not necessarily credible opposition, because a lot of fanboys, right, and casual boxing fans use the talking point that Andrade fight with nobody, right? That's what they like to say over and over and over again, like a broken record. But the facts are that you say he fights with nobody because you just don't know who he fought. You don't know enough about boxing to know the guys that he beat. You know what I mean? And a good part of that is because the fighters he did beat don't have big names, right? But another part of that is because your own ignorance. You just don't know who he beat. Andrade has fought with somebody, just not a big name opponent for you to know who he's fighting, right? So one thing I want to make painfully clear before we move on, right, is that big name isn't necessarily synonymous with credible opponent, right? And vice versa. You can have a big name opponent that's not credible, right? When Canelo Alvarez fought Sugar Shane Mosley when he was 40 years old, he was a big name, but it wasn't necessarily a credible opponent, right? Right? When Canelo Alvarez fought James Kirkland off of a 2-year layoff, he was a big name, but not necessarily a credible opponent. And on the flip side, you got a guy like a Demetrius Andrade who's been in the ring with guys who are credible opposition, but not big names. So, for example, Andrade's been in there with guys like a Willie Nelson, right? And you yourself, you may say to yourself, well, Willie Nelson, I don't know who the fuck that is. But did you know Willie Nelson is the guy who beat Tony Harrison, who beat Jermall Charlo? Did you know that? Did you know Willie Nelson stopped Tony Harrison before Jermall Charlo got a chance to do it? Because if you didn't know that, then you're probably a part of the problem, and you're probably one of the guys who say Andrade fought with nobody out of context, right? Did you know Majev Selecki, another guy that Andrade beat, was a guy who beat up Gabe Rosado, who's another guy that all these big name opponents seem to love getting in a ring with, and he seems to give all these dudes tough fights, right? Did you know that Andrade also beat a Luke Keeler, who beat Luis Arias, who beat Jared Hurt, right? Who's a guy who stopped Tony Harrison, Austin Trout, and Erislandy Lara while becoming a unified champion at 154 pounds. But if you don't know that, then you're probably a part of the problem, a part of the reason why dudes like to perpetuate the narrative that Andrade fought with nobody. No, he hasn't fought with, he's fought with somebody. You just don't know who he's been fighting with. You don't know their names because they're not big names. And again, big names isn't synonymous with credible opposition. And I hate when motherfuckers get the two confused. They just don't go together. You know what I mean? They just don't. You don't know that Andrade's been in the ring with former Olympians like Jack Colcay and Vanez Martirosyan, 8-time national champion, Golden Gloves champion. You know what I mean? You didn't know that he'd been in the ring with guys like that, Olympians and things like that. You don't know. You know what I mean? So that's a part of the problem. That right there is a part of the problem. We need to get that established first and foremost before we even move forward with anything. But let's keep it going. Again, Andrade has been in the ring with credible guys, but again, they lack the name recognition that a lot of these other guys got. And the fact of the matter is, this Janibek dude is really no different. Andrade don't get no credit for a Janibek fight. He gets no belt for a Janibek fight. And to make things even worse, he's going to have to take a pay cut for a Janibek fight because the networks don't want to pay for it. But nevertheless, I digress. Because here we are. What's the date? The date is August 3rd, 2022. Here we are. And it seems to me that Demetrius Andrade may be in luck. It seems to me that Demetrius Andrade may have a shot at roping in one of these big name opponents that we've been clamoring to see him fight, right? Most recently, Jermall Charlo went on his live and he called out Demetrius Andrade, right? Now, mind you, he was drunk. He called out some other fighters that's not even worth mentioning right now, right? Jermall Charlo is a known goalpost mover, right? Jermall Charlo is a known coward, right? Nevertheless, for the first time in the last 8 years, he's actually called out Demetrius Andrade, right? So for me, in my mind, I'm thinking that this is the perfect opportunity for Demetrius Andrade to step on the gas and really move forward towards making this fight with Jermall Charlo, right? Because he's doing something that he's never done before, right? And a good example is Errol Spence, right? Errol Spence over the last 3 and 4 years refused to call out a Terrence Bud Crawford, refused to say Bud Crawford's name. But it was only until Errol Spence finally made it known to the people out there in the boxing highways and byways that he wanted to fight Bud Crawford that we are where we are with these negotiations, right? So I ask you, maybe it can be the same for Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. Jermall Charlo is finally saying the name Demetrius Andrade. So with that said, maybe there's a possibility that we can make this fight happen between these two guys. But not only that, Jermall Charlo is in a situation where he ain't really got too many options, y'all. He ain't really doing too well when it comes to what he has available as far as fights are concerned. There's no more Canelo Alvarez in a picture, at least not for the next year. There's no more Triple G in the picture, at least not for the next year or so. All these other guys Jermall Charlo could fight, he don't want to fight, like David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, right? Also, he would have to give up his belt and move up to 168 pounds in order to even make those fights happen, right? So the fight that he was hoping and wishing for, the Canelo, the Triple G, are super far out of his reach. Therefore, Jermall Charlo really has no better option than a Demetrius Andrade. There's no Jaime Munguia, only a Demetrius Andrade. I'm sure Jermall Charlo at this particular point sees the situation that he's in. He had a fight scheduled with Selecki that was canceled because of a quote-unquote back injury, right? But a lot of people suspected that it was because nobody gave a fuck about that fight, right? Because we haven't heard any talks about them trying to make the fight again, right? So Jermall Charlo is in a very precarious situation. He's in a situation where his career is stagnant. There's nowhere to go. He has the opportunity to unify the belts. Why not do it? Why not do it, and why not do it now? And then you look at David Benavidez, right? You look at David Benavidez, and you see David Benavidez is getting increasingly frustrated with his situation. There's interviews with David Benavidez where he's saying something along the lines of, these guys don't want to fight me, then I may have to move up to 175 pounds in order to fight a Bivol or a Beterbiev. But the reality of the situation is, even if David Benavidez did that, it would still take him time to get in the ring with a Bivol or a Beterbiev, right? All the guys at 168 pounds have no interest in a fight with a David Benavidez. David Benavidez is 25 years old and also hasn't had a marquee fight to his name and is in a very similar situation to Demetrius Andrade in Jermall Charlo. So what's the best option for David Benavidez, despite his promotional issues and despite his promotional objections to him fighting a Demetrius Andrade? That's going after the fight. So what I'm thinking right now, how I'm feeling about this situation, what I'm leaning towards Demetrius Andrade fully committing himself to going after Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez right now. These are the fights that are ripe for the picking right now. Jermall Charlo has no better options right now, but not only that, he said the name Demetrius Andrade and fight in the same sentence, which is something he's never done, ever. Even while intoxicated, he's never been that bold. And David Benavidez is so frustrated that he's thinking about moving up to 175 pounds in order to get a fight. Demetrius Andrade needs to go. He needs to press the attack. He needs to go full force into making these fights happen. Point blank, period. He needs to do this over a Janibek fight. He needs to do this over a Chris Eubank fight. This should be his top priority. David Benavidez, Jermall Charlo, these guys are ripe for the picking. And Andrade, again, needs to be disrespectful. He needs to be disrespectful with it. May even want to call, say some bitches and some hoes. May even want to show up at a fight. In the case of David Benavidez, he don't need to do that with Jermall because we know how that goes with Jermall. But he needs to do the things necessary in order to get the fight done. That's what I believe Andrade needs to do. That's what I think should happen. In my opinion, Benavidez should be the target moving forward. You know what I mean? But what I'm about to do here is I'm about to go ahead and I'm about to drop the link, man. I want to hear what y'all think, man. And as I drop the link, man, I'm going to read the comments. I'm going to see what y'all talking about out here on these boxing streets. You know what I mean? Hold on. You know what I mean? Boom. There we go. Just drop the link for y'all. So anybody trying to hop on, feel free to hop on. And in the meantime, I'm going to read these comments. You know what I mean? See what y'all talking about. Okay. My guy Go says, Andrade beats Janibek. He gets 0 credit. Andrade, okay, I think I read that one already. Okay, cool. Modern King Boxer says, 6 mandatory defenses, knockout 86. I respect you. Absolutely. My guy Modern King Boxing says, we want Charlo ASAP. That's the fight to make right now. If you're Jermall Charlo, that is the fight to make. There's no My bad, y'all. I cut out, man. My bad. Y'all know how that do. Y'all know how that go. Let me get back to that last comment here. Okay, my guy Troy Soros in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, Troy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get back to these comments here. Okay, so yeah, my guy Modern King says we want Charlo ASAP. 155%, man. Absolutely. That's the fight to make right now. It makes the most sense for Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade to make right now. You know what I mean? Charlo has nothing else right now. They just canceled his fight with Selecki, talking about an injury, but I don't believe he was injured. You know what I mean? Why not go for the unification? The unification should be able to take precedence over the mandatory in Janibek, right? Jermall, you got no other fights on the table. You said you want Demetrius Andrade. I'm going to need you to stand on that and actually make an attempt to get the fight done. Because we know Demetrius Andrade want to fight you. But it's always going to be questionable until proven otherwise that you want to fight Demetrius Andrade. But let's keep it going. My guy Go says, Andrade no longer on the zone. The purse would come from Top Rank. The minimum purse bid is $250 for that fight. He's going to make 6 figs to fight and Janibek. Absolutely, man. I mean, a massive pay cut, y'all. A massive pay cut. to fight this Yanabek dude. So you gotta fight a dangerous fight for way less money, y'all. Come on, y'all. For the people calling for this Yanabek fight, would you take less money to do the same job that you're doing right now? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need the people out there calling for this Yanabek fight to answer that question. Would you take less money to do the same job or a harder job than what you're currently doing? Riddle me that. Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta make this shit make sense to me. Everybody fears Andrade says, okay, y'all talking to each other. What to do, everyone? Okay, y'all out here vibing. My guy Ghost says, I don't get people's issue with Chris Eubank option. WBO is the one who told Andrade they can make the fight for the WBO super belt, which gets him a shot at 68 champ. Absolutely, man. Y'all not understanding the plays and the moves that are to be made in order to get Andrade in the situation that he's trying to get in. Why is it so difficult for niggas to comprehend? Andrade wants to fight the best competition out there. Eubank, because of his track record, because of his championship fight experience, right now is a better opponent than Yanabek on paper. Now, is Yanabek tougher? Maybe he is. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Yanabek don't have the track record on paper to drudge up the interest of most fight fans. You know what I mean? But let's keep it going. My guy Ghost out here spitting facts all day, every day. Modern King Boxing says, I'm not timed, so it's cool. I enjoyed a great matchup. Boxing is disrespecting us. Yeah, man, absolutely, man. Disrespectful boxing can be from time to time. You know what I'm saying? My guy Modern King says, we need more unity in boxing circles and buy the fights. Absolutely. All the fights that I want to see, I buy them. I don't do no streaming shit. All the fights that I want to see, and I hope the people that need to hear this. All the fights that I want to see, I pay cash money for them. I buy them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not streaming them. No. You only stream fights you don't give a fuck about. You only watch highlights to fights that you don't give a fuck about. The fights you really want to see, the fights that you're interested in, you're not going to stream them. You're going to buy them because you're not going to want any interruptions. You're not going to want any delays. You're not going to want anything impeding with your ability to watch the fight. Point blank, period. But let's keep it going. My guy, everybody fears Andrade in a motherfucking building. Salute to you, fam. He said, did you hear IDEC on Manic's pod? Apparently, Andrade met up with PBC and the option for Charlo was discussed. However, Espinosa interview directly contradicted it. Yeah, and Espinosa, for those of you who didn't see the Espinosa interview, and I ain't really playing no interviews in this live, but for those of you who didn't see the Espinosa interview, Steven Espinosa was asked about a Demetrius Andrade fight, and Steven Espinosa was pretty much saying that nobody was interested in a Charlo Andrade fight, right? This goes to show you the level of the level of bullshit that some of these promotional outfits and entities go through in order to protect certain fighters. How can you say that nobody's interested in Andrade versus Charlo fight, but you try to put on a Selecki fight? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Make that make sense to me. You say nobody wants to see Andrade, so you're telling me that people want to see Selecki? Like what is this we talking about here, man? I'm gonna need y'all to really make this shit make sense to me. Because it don't at this particular point in time. My guy Modern King Boxing said exactly. Yes, sir. My guy Mr. T says, Chris Eubanks is a shameless bottle job. Literally no shame. Will always go the path of least resistance. Caller him out is a waste of time because Eubanks is a nutless welterweight hunter. And you know, I got no choice but to agree with you, bro, because it is what it is. You know, the thing is at one point I respected Chris Eubanks Jr. I thought that he was a solid dude who was willing to get in the ring with the top guys, you know, but it's clear at this particular point that he's only looking for a payday at this particular point in time. You know what I mean? I mean, for you to go and try to fight a welterweight You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, bro. Like, you know, there are much better fights around your division that you could go after. Even if you're not fighting a Demetrius Andrade, right? Even if you're not fighting Andrade, you could still go after in there Reslandy Lara. You could try to go after you ain't really got Triple G as an option, but you got other guys around the division. You already fought at 168. You could try to fight David Benavidez. You could try to fight Caleb Plant. You could try to fight Billy Joe in a rematch. I mean, that would probably be a big fight and a good fight. You know what I mean? At least Billy Joe is in and around your weight division. Why the fuck you going down to welterweight to fight a little guy like Conor Ben? Like, that's a waste of time. That's a waste of time and energy. But I get it. It's about money. It's about money at the end of the day. But Andrade made a statement that I think is a very accurate statement. Like, they're gonna be selling this Eubank fight as like the battle of the families and shit, right? Like, that's how they're gonna be promoting this fight. And it's like, bro, like, you could really do this at any point in y'all's careers. Like, you can do this as a exhibition fight when both of y'all are 45 years old. You don't gotta do it in the prime of y'all careers. Conor Ben ain't even won a belt yet, but I don't even think Chris Eubank won a belt yet in his career. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is the point of fighting in prime moments of your career in what would be an exhibition fight? Like, that's literally what this shit is, an exhibition fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Ben. You know what I'm saying? Make that shit make sense to me. But let's keep it moving. My guy Modern King Boxing says, every time Andrade fights, I make a video. He's an interesting boxer regardless. Yeah, man. Andrade's a very interesting boxer, man. And, you know, Andrade does not fight the same in every fight. He doesn't fight the same. The dude is super skilled. The dude goes out of his way, by the way. He goes out of his way to try to knock people out. You know what I mean? That's the thing about Demetrius Andrade. He goes out of his way to try to knock people out. He's an exciting fighter. You know what I'm saying? How do you not want to see an exciting fighter in the ring with exciting fighters? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and still these niggas try to make all these different excuses on why Andrade shouldn't be able to get in a ring with these guys, right? Andrade's a horrible fighter. He brings nothing to the table, even though he got a belt, right? You know what I'm saying? Andrade is boring, even though he's always trying to knock out whoever he's in the ring with, and he always averages at least one knockdown in every fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, make this shit make sense to me. My guy Troy Soros says, tell Espinosa, get the fuck out of here. Because what intelligent boxing fans doesn't want to see, monster boogeyman champ Andrade versus shit talking Cub Charlo. What up, King David? Salute to my guy Troy Soros in the motherfucking building, man. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you know you my guy, fam. You know, all love over here. That's my guy right there. My guy Modern Pete Boxing says 100 at Troy. Yes, sir. Go says, when Demetrius fought Selecki was coming off of a controversial fight with Danny Jacobs in which they thought he won. Andrade schooled him. Class was in session on that night. Facts, Ghost. Facts. You know what I'm saying? We know Danny Jacobs got a good robbery decision over a Selecki. You know what I'm saying? But dudes don't want to hear that. Because Selecki is a nobody, according to these niggas, right? He is nobody. Even though he got in there with a big name guy and took him to a draw, took him to a robbery decision, but he fights with nobody, right? That's what you niggas like to say, right? Modern Key Boxy says, I'm truly listening. Now we want the best versus the best. Boxing, get your stuff together, or we gonna stop thinking boxing has integrity and sanctioned bodies. Facts, Modern King. He said, we got time today. Facts on top of facts. We got time today, man. We got time today. Ain't nobody trying to kick it with your boy on here, man. Hold on, man. Let me drop the link again, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here rocking solo dolo out here today on these boxing streets. It's all good, but you know, somebody want to come rock with your boy, feel free. But let's keep going now. Let's keep reading these comments. My guy, Ian Campbell in the motherfucking building. Salute to you, fam. He says, my thing is, why is Andrade calling out Eubank, though? Why not? Why not? I mean, he didn't call everybody else out, though, Ian Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Like, he done gone down the list. You feel me? Like, my guy done went from Canelo to Triple G to Charlo. You know what I'm saying? To Benavidez, to Plant. Like Andrade has literally called everybody else. Why not call out Eubank Jr.? I mean, it's a big name. It's the kind of fight that Andrade needs, you know what I'm saying, for his career. So why not? You know what I'm saying? But okay, but we got a guest here in the building, man. My guy C's in the building. Salute to you, C's. What's going on with you, man?
What's up, King David? What it do, pimp?
Not much, man. Chilling, man. Talking some good boxing today, man. What's going on with
I
you?
hear you. I hear you. I see niggas are scared to hit that little pull up. I said, let me pull up on my man. Let me pull up. I'm probably one of the only ones that hit Parker because I felt the same as what you were saying. Like it'll put him in position for to be the 3-division champion because everybody knows that this man has been ducked. You know what I'm saying? And his only way to really force the issue is, in my opinion, is for Canelo is to go up to that 3rd weight class. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he or Benavidez. That's the two that I look at. Even though Benavidez ain't got the belt, I know that. But Zach Parker will put him in prime position. That don't mean Canelo will fight him. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that Canelo could drop the belt. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But he's been reluctant to fight Andrade in 3 weight classes. We all know that. So, you know, that's why I went with Zach Parker. You feel me?
Facts. Yes, sir. Okay, we got another guest that done join us here on the panel. My guy, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Y'all be sure to subscribe to the homie Knockout Boxing 86 TV. What's going on with you, fam?
Chilling, bro. How you doing, King David? And salute to the other homie on the panel. What's up with you, bro?
What's up, Knockout?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Look, bro, my vote was for Janabek, bro. And it's very simple. Like Jermall Charlo, he ain't fighting Andrade, bro. like, and I'm Texas all day, bro. But he ain't. First, he go from Andrade don't bring nothing to the table, and I'm looking at him like, bro, like he a champion. Like you can unify. You saying he don't bring shit to the table, but you want to fight Montel Williams, Montel Jordan, like fuck, like all right, bro, cool. And then when you think of like the other names, like David Benavidez again, bro, Benavidez up there 168, PBC for whatever reason, bro. If you're with the zone, if you used to be with the zone, if you do something to Al Heyman, and I ain't saying they right or wrong, bro. I'm not even trying to get into the Jermall Charlo Andrade shit. I'm just saying when you fall out with Al Heyman, that man hold a grudge and shit. So the odds of him getting any PBC fight, bro, any of them, no matter how much we may want to see him, like I don't see that shit happening. So when the odds of look at it, any PBC fight, bro, anybody got that YouTube.
Hey, hold on real quick, Knockout. Hey, somebody, if you're listening to the thing, man, mute yourself. Or turn down your computer. Somebody got an echo.
It's the homie that came on, bro.
Okay,
I think we're good. I think we're good. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, and so when you look at the list that you put up, King David, it's a great list. Like I wish we could get those fights, but if we just being realistic of like who actually want to fight them, who actually acting like they want the smoke, the only one is his mandatory challenger in Janabek. So if you can't unify with Charlo, then Janabek got to be the best option because we all know that you got the WBO belt, bro, and that's top ranked belt, homie. That's Bob belt. That's his belt. So if you don't fight him, odds are WBO gonna strip your ass, and you already got issues getting fights as a champion, bro. Imagine Demetrius Andrade running around here with no belt, no leverage, trying to get fights and shit. So the most realistic and best option, bro, it gotta be Janabek. And then just real quick on the Chris Eubanks thing, I ain't saying nothing wrong with calling out Chris Eubanks, but what I am saying, bro, is like it don't look good when you call out a man that's already reported that he got to fight, bro. Like that shit don't come off well. Even if somebody that ain't got no issue with Andrade, like you can't be calling out Chris Eubanks when everybody know he already in final stages of negotiations with Conor Bean. That shit make it seem like I ain't saying he don't want to fight, but it's just like, bro, like he already got to fight. Like the same shit I said about Jermall Charlo, like because he said Chris Eubanks' name too. Like, so do y'all not keep up with boxing? Like, do y'all not know that him and Conor Bean already about to fight? Like, why y'all calling this man's name? The only name they should be calling is Charlo, if you Andrade, and Janabek, and then maybe Benavidez. But as I said earlier, bro, Charlo and Benavidez,
they unrealistic because who their promotion companies are. So you got to fight the only guy that's acting like he really won't smoke, and that's Janabek. Janabek talking big shit, so go shut him up. And that's my take on it, bro.
Okay. Respect that. Okay, we got another homie that just joined us here on the panel. My guy Cash. What's going on with your Cash? What's on your mind, fam? You there, Cash? Oh, there you go.
My bad. I had to unmute it. Nah, man, everything good, man. I just want to say I'm excited we're not talking about Spence and Charlo. I mean Spence and Bud this time. Yeah, that shit is exhausting. Yeah. But I think Boo Boo and Charlo is, like I said, it's 10 years in the making. I mean, this shit should have been happened. I still don't think it's go happen, but I think right now they need each other more than anything. Because I don't think Charlo will fight Benavidez. Nobody wants to fight Boo Boo. Like I said, he's a high risk, low reward type of fighter. So I think them two, they need each other more than anything right now. So hopefully it happens. I mean, it makes sense. I think Al Heyman the only person that's probably willing to pay Boo Boo because nobody really wants to pay him. And that's all I can say about that, man.
Gotcha. Yeah, but Heyman, he not putting nobody in there with guys he feels as though can lose, because you notice he don't send guys over to other promotions unless he feel 1,000% confident that his man gonna win. Because they could have made money.
Unless they ain't got a big name. Yeah, or unless they ain't got a big name, or unless they ain't got a big name. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a lower level fighter that he ain't really trying to promote like that, then he'll send them over there to get their ass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
exactly. Agreed.
But I feel like, okay.
But if it's somebody he trying to promote, he ain't doing that shit. Like if it's somebody he trying to promote and it's like a 50-50 fight, like nah, you got to come to the PBC. We want a multiple fight deal.
Yep.
We need to have a little bit of control over your ass in case you beat our guy ass. Like yeah, but I ain't just gonna put that on Al Heyman. They all do that shit. That's what fucking Bob Arum just did to Devin Haney. So shit, like all of them do that shit, bro.
Is Boo Boo a free agent though? Can he sign with Al?
He is a free agent.
Yeah. So he could definitely sign with Al. I mean, I believe Boo Boo a top fighter. I do. I think he one of the best. I think Charlo beats him. I do. I personally think Charlo. I edge Charlo in that fight. But other than that, I think Boo Boo kind of like, man, he's a tough out.
He's just the guy that's just dangerous. He's dangerous, bro.
But I think
I got him beating anybody.
I think the lack of power is why I edge Charlo. I don't think he could hurt Charlo. I don't.
I'll disagree, but sure.
Yeah, I disagree with that too. But we got somebody new.
I just don't.
Yeah, we got somebody new that just pulled up here in the panel. My guy, everybody fears Andrade. Them pulled up. You know what I mean? Now I know it's about to get real too.
You damn right. You know it.
Well, my guy get here in the panel, he come with the facts. So just everybody be on guard, bro.
All right, it's been a minute since I hollered at you, KD. So it's one thing that I think a lot of people don't know. When Andre was going up to 168 and he had the Parker fight, this happened on the low. A lot of motherfuckers don't know this, but the WBO said that Canelo's fight against Plant was considered to be a mandatory fight. How was it considered to be a mandatory fight? I don't fucking know. But I think that played into his decision into backing out of the fight and just saying, fuck it, if I gotta wait 18 months, I might as well just. I think the shoulder thing is legit, and I just think he just said, "Fuck it." What's the point of me going and holding it off on it, right? Now with Janabek on deck, I know you're gonna disagree with me, man. He needs to take the damn fight, bro. Just take the damn fight, bro. Like Demetrius, take it. It's like another channel I watched said, dude, you're gonna end up on Triller fighting for an NABO title, bro. Just take the fucking fight. Like it is. It ain't the fight that I personally want to see, but I think it's a winnable fight.
Yeah, and if you take that shit, you ask Bob, like, all right, cool, I want to move up to 168. I'll fight. I'll let you. I'll fight your guy. I'll fight Janabek. But how about you put Edgar Berlanga on the goddamn contract too at 168, so I can take off this motherfucker. How about you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you get on ESPN, you get off that motherfucking app, and you get to letting people know. You know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, like. Niggas really out here ducking me. Like that's the move. Like if you gonna make me come over and fight Janabek, I'll fight your little prospect. I'll fight your little Olympian and shit. But put somebody else on that hoe that you really trying to promote. Give me one of your one of your 168s, and the one that came to my mind was Berlanga, but I'm sure they got multiple. But give me somebody that you've been having main event your shit. Somebody that you got, you know what I'm saying, that you got some money behind, and then I'm gonna beat their ass and I'm gonna make you put money behind me. That's the type of shit he should
knockout is I don't know that he got the leverage to even be able to make them type of demands to that. You know what I mean? Like it would be nice if he could say like, hey man, put somebody on that contract, but how is he gonna force Bobby Ehrman into a position where he's even gonna agree to that? You know what I mean? But
I mean, not forcing him, but shit, you don't get what you don't ask for. So shit, if they'll take Devin Haney, who's not like I like Devin Haney. I don't want nobody to think I'm shitting on him, but just me, my personal preference. Andrade got a more exciting style than him. So if you'll give Devin Haney a multi-fight deal and let him sign to you. Matter of fact, if you Andrade, say shit, all right, Bob, look, man, I know you probably don't want to do the Berlanga shit. How about shit? You can give. I'll be the only fighter, the only champion. I'll give Janabek a rematch. I will allow you to put a rematch clause for me and Janabek. How about that? How about that? Just something where he can get multiple fights on a platform like ESPN, or if he can go to Showtime route, something to get his name buzzing, bro. Because right now, people trying to forget about him, dog. Like ain't nobody checking for him. You know what I'm saying? Except the few fans and shit that he got. So he got to get his name back in the limelight, even if it means take. And I seen Ghost making a lot of great points. Even if it do mean for this fight, you gotta take less money or whatever, bro. You gotta do something because people don't forgot about your ass over there on the zone, bro. Over here in America, let's just keep it a buck. Like people forgot how cold he was because he been fighting on the. You gotta do something to get your ass back in the limelight, dog. And if you fighting Janabek, who they pushing, and then you offer him a rematch, you either beat his ass so bad where Janabek don't even want a rematch, or you just beat his ass twice, and now you don't fight on ESPN twice. You know what I'm saying? Your name back buzzing and shit. People can't act like they can forget about you, and you can use that shit because Janabek ain't just been calling for Andrade. He been calling for Charlo. He been calling for Triple G. He been calling for every champion at 160 pounds. So you beat Janabek ass, and then after you beat his ass, you say, hey, Charlo, hey, Triple G, hey, all you other dudes, this boogeyman that y'all was running from, I just beat his ass. So what's popping? What can we get going? Like, to me, that's how you run down on shit. Just my personal opinion, bro.
I respect that. Anybody wanna rebuttal that?
I've been saying that. Oh, go ahead, bro. You go ahead.
I was gonna say my thing with like the leverage situation. Haney's was a little bit different because of the position he was in. Like I don't see Andre being able to leverage the situation like that. But I do like that idea. I do like it, but it's sad to see him being, pushed to the side like this because the man is fucking talented, bro. But he's up there in age. You know what I'm saying? He don't really got time to be fucking around right now. His career is kind of winding to an end. You feel me? He's on the back 9 of it, I'm gonna say. I'm not saying it like he got 2 or 3 fights left, but let's be real. He creeping up in his what is he, like 33?
Something like that. 34 actually.
He about to be 34. Yeah, see, goddamn. Like Andre, he's a fucking talented motherfucker, bro. Like it's sad to see this, man. But I just really pray that he gets the fights, bro, because he's really that good. You think Canelo said horrible fighter, nigga? You know that man is a fucking monster, bro.
What y'all think the issue is with PBC? Like it seemed like Andrade and the PBC got like some sort of beef. I don't know if he done fucked somebody woman or I don't know what happened, bro. But I'm telling you, Charlo, bro. Remember what he said? It was a video. He was like, man, we blackballed something. We blackballed that nigga.
They black-carded him.
Black-carded him, yeah.
Because bro, you losing out on money like Jermall Charlo, bro. You ain't got no other fights right now to speak of in your to your left or to your right, unless you're moving up to 168, which I already said you don't want to do.
But the thing is about Charlo is he got the fights. He don't want to take them. Demetrius Andrade can't get the fights. Right. Charlo got Benavidez. He got Caleb Plant. I mean, he got all these options. He just don't want to move on them.
So what y'all think is because Boo-Boo, but hold on a second, y'all. Boo-Boo a free agent right now. What y'all think is the reason why he ain't signing with PBC? Like,
I think he got blackballed. I really do think he got blackballed.
They're not even trying to sign him.
Probably ain't shit. It ain't about signing with him. They probably ain't offering him shit, bro. To keep it a buck, they probably ain't offering shit.
Shit, not even that. They probably waiting to see if Janabek beat them.
Yeah, the same shit that's on, you know what I'm saying? Like how they try to do Crawford and shit. Like, we're not interested in signing him. What? Like, all right, that's
look,
some dumb ass
big
shit.
game,
But okay.
big game. If Benavidez say I want to fight Boo Boo Andrade next, I guarantee you that fight can happen. I guarantee you it can happen.
He already said it. He already said it did, and his team shitted on the fight. He had to come out and try to be like, nah, bro. I don't know what he talking about. I'll fight him. I want that fight. I think his team said some shit, bro. If King David, correct me if I'm wrong, but his manager, Benavidez team, his manager Samson came out and said like we would need like $20 million, like some crazy ass number to fight Andrade. Like he said, he basically said they were willing to take the interview still up. They were willing to take less money to fight Canelo, but they wanted more money to fight Andrade. And David Benavidez had to like kill that. Like, nah, bro, I really want the fight. Like, I don't know what he talking about, but I will take the fight. I want the fight. So, man, the management over there at PBC and them PBC fighters, bro, they ain't fucking with Andrade like that, bro. Just to be real, like the best thing for him to do is just go over there and beat up some ESPN fighters, dog.
Might have a good point over there, man. Might have a good one. I ain't gonna hold it. Because just like what you said, it was the offer was $7 million. He said we could start the conversation at $7 million. Benavidez ain't never made no goddamn $7 million in his life. You know what I'm saying? You need $7 million for Andrade. So it is crazy that would be the case. But one thing that I'm just feeling like right now is not that I'm thinking is just Charlo and Benavidez, they just seem like real frustrated, especially Benavidez. Benavidez talking like, hey man, like I'm about to just move up to 175 if I can't get no fights. Like that's how he talking right now. Cause apparently he was scheduled to fight David Morrell. That shit didn't work. David Morrell, called him out and all this old shit. And then turned out Ronnie Shields came out and said that he ain't ready for the fight. So David Benavidez ain't got no fights around. He seemed like a guy that would probably go against his promotional company in order to make a fight like that happen. So, but I said it earlier and I say it again, man. If Andrade can't get any of these other dudes in the ring, then Janibek got to be the guy. He has to be the guy. Not even like I want it. He has to be the guy, and I ain't got no problem with the fight. I do, however, got a problem with the fact that Janibek is going to be Andrade's going to have to take a significant pay cut in order to get in the ring with this dude. Like, that's crazy to me that this dude got to get paid way less for a more dangerous fight, But I guess some people would think of it like it's paying it forward because he didn't have some fights that wasn't as dangerous where he was getting paid too much. And I get a level of that to a certain degree, but, what they said the minimum purse was on this fight, 250 or something like that.
250,000. Yeah.
So this man got to make $100,000 for a dangerous fight like Janibek, and then he still ain't gonna get no real recognition or credibility for beating him. Like that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? So
just real quick on that, King David. Whoever real shit, whoever not giving him credit for beating Janibek, I would just, I will humbly ask that maybe you should watch another sport because Janibek can fight, dog. Like if he beat Janibek,
these niggas hate him. That's how much they hate this nigga. Like there's nothing else besides it.
And I ain't even know Andrade fan, but I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Shit, like if he beat Janibek, that's a former Olympian southpaw who can punch, who got good movement. Them Uzbekistani fighters, I think he out of Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan fighters, they proven that they doing good in the pros with their different style and kind of how they bring it and shit. So yeah, bro, like he better. Goddamn it, he better than that's a way better opponent than who he been fighting. So I'll be damned if I don't give him credit for beating somebody like Janibek. Like that's a damn good fight. Shit, that's better than you can't and then ones that's not gonna give him credit for Janibek, I better not hear shit about him giving credit to Jermall Charlo for Montiel. Because Janibek better than everybody Jermall Charlo been fighting recently, and I'm a Jermall Charlo fan. But shit, the truth is the truth. So he deserved credit if he beat Janibek, bro. Straight up and down. If you ain't giving it to him, then you just hate Andrade, bro. It just is what it is.
And I 100% agree with you, man. But, one thing I got to bring up, and I was talking about it a little early on the live, like Andrade been in the ring with former Olympians. Jack Colque was an Olympian. Vanez Martirosyan was an Olympian. Them dudes were Olympian. Andre washed them dudes already. He don't get credit for them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why it leads, people like me to believe he ain't going to get credit for this fight. But just like you said, man, they need to find another sport to watch because you clearly don't know shit about boxing if you think Janibek is some sort of cab driver or a bum because we can see differently. We looking at the man and we know he a difficult fight for anybody, point blank period. But let me go to my guy who just joined up on the panel, my guy Bold and Understandings. Salute to you, Bo. What's going on with your family? And y'all be sure to subscribe to Bold and Understand This on YouTube. Be sure to do that for my guy. What's going on with you, Bo? You there?
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Okay. Hey, what's going on, man? How y'all doing?
What's up, Bo?
Why you?
Yo, I think Andrew need to fight Janet back, man. like he does, man. It will be real embarrassing if he vacates that belt to Janet back. It would be an embarrassment because like somebody said already, it's already hard for him to get the fights that he want now. Just imagine if he vacates the belt or it gets stripped or whatever. He could kiss whatever fight he was trying to get goodbye. Now, another thing, if you fight Janet back and you beat Janet back, who I think Janet back is a very good fighter, but you beat Janet back, you just keep eliminating excuses that a lot of Andrade haters are gonna keep saying. Oh, he ain't fight this guy. This guy's a bum. Okay, go fight this guy. You duck this guy. Go fight him. Eliminate all the excuses and trap him in the corner. Because at the end of the day, Canelo ain't gonna fight him. It's not gonna happen unless probably in a few years when Andrew get about 37 years old. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe Canelo might feel brave enough to get in the ring with him. But at the end of the day, he's not gonna fight him. Charlo's not gonna fight him. And a lot of these other guys who's probably trying to make a name for themselves are not going to fight Andre just because he doesn't have the popularity backing. But I guarantee you one thing, if he beats Janet back on ESPN, he will have, the popularity coming towards his way. Because the one thing about ESPN, they pushing Janet back. And if Andre makes Janet back look like a rookie, it's a done deal. You have no choice but to be like, yo, this guy's legit. Now, of course, Canelo fans are going to say, oh, well, he beat another bum or whatever the case is. But we could use their words against them because we already know, Mr. That one dude, you know what I'm talking about. That's like the biggest Canelo fan. He already got videos saying that.
Man, fuck that guy.
He already said. He said Andre was ducking such and such. Now Andre beat him. He can't go back on his words because his videos is already out there. And then that's when you could go to him and be like, yo, keep that same energy. Like how you said about Andre. Keep that same energy. Why your boy Canelo been ducking Andre for 10 years? Y'all put up all these roadblocks. And now that he done eliminated all these roadblocks that y'all put up for him. Now what? But yeah, I think Andre need to fight Janet back. Because Janabek is really the only person that's willing to fight him.
Now let me ask you this question. And everybody else who thinks, who believes that he should go the Janabek route, right? Like that's the fight he should go after. If Andrade manages to get a fight with some of these other dudes, and we're not talking about the possibility of those fights happening, because we know those fights are going to be difficult to try to get made over a Janabek fight, right? But if Andrade gets in the ring, if he's able to fight Benavidez or Charlo or even Triple G's out of the picture, but just one of these other big name fighters, if he manages to get one of them in the ring next and he vacates his belt in order to get that fight done, would y'all still consider it? Would you consider it an embarrassment bowl? And that goes for everybody in the panel.
I want to let Bo answer, but I just want to say I had to pinch myself and make sure I was awake because this might be the first time Bo and I ever agreed on some shit. Like I had to make sure that I was awake and shit.
Hey, I think the one thing that we can all say, man, we all boxing fans. Yeah, we're gonna have differences in opinion about a lot of things, but it's gonna be a lot of shit that we agree with for the most part too. On top of that, and just like me and you knock out, like when it comes to Earl Spence, like I disagree with a lot of what you say about Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, but shit, I hear you talk about Tank a lot and other dudes and shit. I be agreeing with a lot of the shit you be saying. So, if you talk enough, you'll find some common ground. You know what I mean? But go ahead and answer that question for you, boy. Would you still consider it an embarrassment if Andrade got in the ring with Benavidez or Charlo or one of these other dudes next?
If it's a Benavidez or Charlo, Well, Charlo, he shouldn't have to vacate his belt for, right? But let's just say if he does, I don't consider it embarrassment. But if you vacate a belt just to get a fight with a Eubank, to me that's an embarrassment because Eubank hasn't accomplished a damn thing. All he's got is a name because of his father. But as far as the Benavidez and Charlo or Canelo, then yeah, like them three right there, I'd be like, okay, that then that's worth vacating. Everybody should be able to understand that.
Okay. How
yeah,
about
he right, bro. He right about that shit. The thing is, bro, like with it would be an embarrassment though. It'd be an embarrassment for the WBO, specifically if he fight Jermall Charlo. Like if that shit were to happen. So you mean to tell me you gonna strip him instead of allowing him to unify, but you fucking let everybody else unify and shit when they got a unification fight? So it'll be an embarrassment for them, not for him. And then moving up to 168 to fight somebody like David Benavidez to put yourself in position to be the mandatory in the WBC. Nah, bro, like you can't, like, number one, like no disrespect to Janabek. I think he can fight his ass off. But David Benavidez is a goddamn savage and he big as shit. So moving up 8 pounds to take on the person who a lot of people at 168 is running from David Benavidez right now. To move up and fight him, I wouldn't say it's an embarrassment, but those are the only two, in my opinion. Everybody else we talking about, they ain't worth vacating your belt for. You know what I'm saying? But Jermall Charlo, you shouldn't even have to. Unification trump mandatory when it comes to Canelo. It trumped that shit when it came to Josh Taylor. It's trumping that shit right now with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. So why not trump that shit with Demetrius Andrade? What's so different about him?
How about Zach Parker, y'all? If he vacated and went up and fought Zach Parker for the mandatory, would y'all consider it embarrassment? Would y'all be okay with that move?
I wouldn't care, but like I said earlier, like he's gonna have to wait. I mean, it was 18 months. They said 18 months, so we talking about it's probably another what at this point that plant fight happened in November last year. So we talking about another year, you know. So I mean, that's up to him, you know, if his body can hold up. Like as far as the other two, those are bigger fights. So like I can't really disagree with it. You know, like, and if anybody says, "Oh, he ran from Janabek to fight Charlo or Benavidez," I'd be like, "Dude, go kiss my ass."
right.
Like I said, half these dudes, y'all watch every video, and because y'all all in every comment section about this motherfucker, y'all watch every video about this dude, but y'all swear y'all can't stand him. Y'all are fucking fans. Y'all are fans. Like whether you want to admit it or not. Like if it's a boxer I don't care for, I ain't gonna watch the motherfucker. It's simple as that.
Right.
You know, like, but when it comes to Andre, dude, just fight the motherfucker. Like, and I'm even looking on Box.live right now at the not WBO, the IBF rankings. Esquivio Falcao, I believe, is with Top Rank. If he gets Janabek and he gets Falcao, he gets unification. You know, then he becomes a 2-belt champion, a unified champion at 160. It depends on, because I don't think Bob wants to invest all his time and money into Janabek, and Andre goes and embarrasses him, and then he don't get no return on it. Just like with, and I know we said it earlier with Haney, you know, that was a different situation. But you don't want to go in and lose your investment because some 34-year-old guy beat his ass.
Right. But you know, Janabek ain't that young either. I think that dude's like 32, 30.
He older. Real quick, King David, I got to bounce. Salute to you, man. Keep doing your thing. I'll holler at you next time, dog.
Oh, yeah, all day, man. Salute to you, Knockout. Hey, man, again, man, that's my guy, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Y'all be sure to subscribe to Knockout Boxing 86 TV on YouTube, man. Appreciate my guy for sliding through. But go ahead, what you were saying, everybody fears Andrade.
I'm saying,
go ahead, bro.
Janabek's 29.
29? I thought he was like 30 something.
No, he's 29. About to be 30. I think if he isn't turned 30 yet. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, even so, if he's 29, he still ain't no spring chicken. So
yeah, he'll be 30 next April.
Next April? Okay. Well, you know, they trying to move him along too. So, but I mean, if Bob Arum, you know, I like the idea of trying to put together a ESPN deal with Bob Arum and Top Rank, and you know, trying to work with them as opposed to trying to do things solo. If things are just non-existent when it comes to PBC. Ideally, if he could sign some sort of deal with PBC and get Benavidez and Charlo in the ring, that would be the most ideal situation. But just to go back to what I was saying a little bit earlier, because you guys answered the question out, and you guys were like, I asked the question like, would you consider it an embarrassment if Andrade was to get in the ring with one of these other bigger names as opposed to fighting Janibek, even if it meant he had to vacate his title? And for the most part, everybody was like, no, you know, as long as it was a big name and it was a worthy fight. I think the only way that it's a problem is if Andrade vacates his belt and he fights some sort of journeyman, you know what I mean? Which my thing is, when is Andrade ever when is he ever in his history avoided a fight so that he could fight a less credible opponent? That's just not anything I've ever seen him do. You know, if that was something that he did, I wouldn't be a fan of his, you know? So I think that's all I've been saying, you know, is that Andrade should go after the big fights like what he's been doing. But, you know, if he can't get those fights, then yeah, go ahead and fight Janibek. See if you can get you maybe some sort of 3 or 4 fight deal with ESPN or something like that, and work out some monies and get shit done like that. You know what I mean? Because that's the only option that's in front of you. But I'm just all for him just going after, you know, using Janibek like the last resort that he should be. That's always been my stance on it, you know.
No, and I agree. Like,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, he ain't got much options at this point, and that belt is his only leverage. It's sad to say that, like, because I thought at this point we'd have like, especially after Charlo backed out of his fight, I was like, man, it's definitely gonna happen now. But it seems like PBC doesn't have the interest in it, and then you got Espinoza on Twitter in an interview saying, oh, well, we already offered him a contract and he turned it down. And then when you go and dig deeper and you got people on Twitter, like Andre's got a cousin that's on Twitter that always responds to this shit. And he's like, yeah, but y'all didn't offer him Charlo. Y'all offered him a multi-fight deal without Charlo even being in.
Right.
Like, he did a Twitter space back in March. And somebody directly asked him, like, you made this comment about, you know, I want to make millions of dollars about the fight the Luke Keelers of the world. And he even said, they didn't plan on giving me Charlo, so I didn't have a choice. And he's like, of course, like, I'm fighting for money. I'm trying to support my family. Like, I'm going to take the better deal.
Right.
And as a man, I'm not going to say, man, you shouldn't take that deal. No, go ahead and take the fucking deal. You got kids.
Right.
You know, so...
You don't want to.
That's basically what Espinoza was. My fault, bro.
Yeah, no, go ahead, C's. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that's basically what Espinoza was saying. Like, but he tried to play it off as if he's some type of nut because he did that. When y'all been freezing this man out. But that interview just solidified they're not going to make that Charlo Andre fight. It's not happening.
Right. Yeah, they he definitely exposed himself with that interview.
Yeah, he exposed himself.
He really did. Like, you basically saying Andre decided to take. First of all, you're admitting that your deal was inferior to the DAZN deal in a sense where you were paying them less money than DAZN, which, I mean, a normal person would want to make more.
Charlo.
Less, and then you're not gonna feed him big names. You're gonna feed him the same Seleckis and the same guys who he had for less money. Like, nah, bro. Come on, man. And also, too, like, you exposing PBC because what's the issue? You can't make a cross promotional fight. What's the problem with that? Like, you dudes exposing yourself. Like, you giving away their game plan. Oh, you can't do a fight with DAZN now? So, you know, that's how I'm looking at it. But I'm finna
you're right on point with it, bro. You right on point with it, man. They're not doing that.
Exactly. He
I just wish they would, man.
Yeah.
PBC ain't helping the sport, bro. Like, they really not, man.
Not at all. But I'm gonna read some comments and then I'm gonna go through the poll. And then I want to ask y'all what y'all voted for on the poll. So let me look at this comment here from my guy, I Am Campbell. Let me start here at the top where I was before. I Am Campbell says David Benavidez seems like he will only fight Andre. Not Jermall, not so much. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, David Benavidez has been calling out Jermall Charlo for a while. You know what I mean? He definitely wants that fight. It's Jermall that actually don't want that fight. You know what I mean? Benavidez want Andrade, but you heard what we were talking about earlier. Team Benavidez don't want Andrade. So for that reason, the fight is very tough to make happen. But I was saying earlier, I think that David Benavidez is frustrated at this particular point in time. I think that he's really frustrated. I think that he's looking for a big fight. He's getting really fed up with his team, and I think that he's a guy that would go against his own promotional team in order to make a fight like that happen. You know, and if I'm Demetrius Andrade, I probably would go out of my way, you know, to call out David Benavidez and make it known that that's the fight I want next. I probably would be a little disrespectful. You know what I mean? David Benavidez seems like the kind of guy who would take that very, very seriously, you know what I mean, and get in the ring with you anyway. You know, but that's a little outside of Andrade's character, so it'd be hard for me to ask him to do something like that. But I would just be very vocal about calling out David Benavidez because we see that he's getting a little fed up with his team and not getting the fights that he wants to get. And then for Jermall Charlo, I mean, you know, he's drunk. But again, this is the first time he's ever called Demetrius Andrade's name. It's the first time he ever called him out.
Yep.
Earl Spence finally called out Terrence Bud Crawford for the first time, and here we are in the middle of negotiations. So I think it's a good time to really call bluffs, you know what I mean, considering the situations at hand, you know, and try to pursue those opportunities. And if they don't work, just like everybody else saying here on the panel, I ain't got no problem with the Yana Big fight. I mean, shit, I ain't got no problem with no smoke. And I got faith in my guy that he'll beat Yana Big. So, you know, it is what it is. But let me keep going on these comment sections here. My guy Go says Andrade showed up to Benavidez last fight. He'll do it again as soon as they announce another. Yeah, I know he will. He'll pull up to Benavidez. He ain't got no problem with it. And Benavidez is not going to run from him. Benavidez is not going to talk about easy routes and all that type of stuff. Benavidez is gonna acknowledge the fight. And what it is going to do is it's going to create hype for the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to create Benavidez is not gonna dismiss the fight like some of these other dudes will do, like Jermall Charlo, like how they I don't even pick my fights. So you gotta talk to my promoter. Benavidez is gonna say, I want you next, and that's gonna help build the fight between the two fighters. So my guy Low Blow Champ in the building, salute to you, Lobo. Appreciate you for sliding on through. He says Andrade's gonna have to do something dramatic in order to get a fight. He's gonna show up and put hands on one of them. You might have to, man. A lot of these dudes need to learn from Clubber Lang in that Rocky 3 movie, man. Just pull up to a nigga and, you know, slap. I don't know, man.
That I don't think that shit gonna work though, man. Because this is the PBC we talking about. Andrew come up there and drop kick one of these dudes. PBC, they still ain't gonna make the fight just because they got something against Andrade.
Yeah, by the way, if any of y'all want to respond to these comments, feel free to respond too, just like Bo is just kind of piggyback. So I'll leave it open like that too. But yeah, you know, if he did do that, like honestly, man, although he still may not get the fight, he would definitely create a lot more attention surrounding the fight, right? So if you remember like Shannon Briggs back in the day, he used to chase around Vladimir Klitschko. And honestly, like the fight still never happened. But one thing that Shannon Briggs did was he definitely built his name up by calling them dudes out so dramatically and passionately the way he was. But in addition to that, he created a buzz and an interest for the fight. You know what I mean? So I think that for Andrade to do these things, it's kind of like it helps him in a multitude of different ways. Even if he doesn't get the fight, like he's still able to kind of build his name a little bit off of that and also create more interest surrounding the fight. You know what I mean? But let me look at my guy GK Black. He said, don't even mention Mugia. Oh, we know Mugia ain't trying to do shit. Mugia ain't trying to do shit. That's the biggest coward in boxing right now, outside of Ryan Garcia. At least, I guess Ryan trying to act like he want to fight somebody, but Jaime Mugia, he not even trying to act like he trying to fight somebody. He ain't even fake.
Well, he's in negotiations with John Ryder right now, right?
Is he really? So he's gonna move up to 168 and fight Ryder, or is Ryder coming down?
I'm not even sure. That's just the rumor that's out right now, is that they trying to be in negotiations and make a fight, basically.
That's crazy as hell to me. So John Ryder, dude, a 168 pounder. Either way, it's bullshit to me because you're gonna bring John Ryder down, suck him down into a nonsense fight, or you're gonna move up to 168 when you got the opportunity to try to fight one of the champions, either Jermall Charlo or Demetrius Andrade. But you're gonna fight John Ryder instead. I mean, Mugia is just a waste of space, in my opinion. But let's keep it going. Anybody want to comment on that too?
No, you got it. You
I got it.
Perfectly said, bro.
Let me look at my guy Ghost. My guy Ghost says the one guy at 68 who wanted to fight Benavidez is Morrell. Uploaded that clip earlier in 1 week where the Cubans touched on it. They approached Samsung and told them Team Benavidez is looking somewhere else. Morrell trainer came out, Ronnie Shields, and said that Morrell ain't ready for the fight. So, I mean, it seemed to me like it's David Morrell that's the problem why the fight can't happen.
I think the problem is Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields don't feel as though he's comfortable with Morrell taking that fight because this dude came up with all types of excuses of saying, well, if he fights David Benavidez, and let's just say if he beat David Benavidez, where is he going to go at from there? Like as if the only option Morrell has after David Benavidez is Canelo. But I'm like, man, there's other guys at 168. I just don't understand why Ronnie Shields don't want him to take that fight. But it's probably because Morrell last fight, you know, he ain't looked too good in his last fight.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
He looked like David Morrell looked. He still got some technical flaws. He's a little too stiff for me. He's not very slick, and he leaves himself open a lot. And I don't really like his movement all that well either, his lateral movement. So I see David Benavidez really kind of putting a hefty ass whooping on David Morrell. You know what I'm saying? But continue.
Yeah, that's
but Morrell, I mean not Morrell. Benavidez ain't got much movement either. It's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's an interesting fight.
Yeah, you got to be stationary for him to let his hands go. Now, I think with Morrell, when he was getting caught up because he trying to be I think he was trying to get the dude out of there, and in the midst of trying to get the dude out of there, the dude done caught him a couple of times, and then Morrell, like when Morrell got touched up, then all of a sudden he tried to block a shot that didn't even come. He tried to block the shot after he got hit, and I was like, come on, you know, but. That would be an interesting fight for sure.
Yeah, it would be. See, the thing is Benavidez comes forward, and unless you're gonna be able to match the same energy coming forward like Benavidez and be able to fight in the pocket inside with him, you're gonna have a lot of issues with him. And I think that Morrell, I don't think he fights very good on the inside. You know, he's like okay at everything to me. You know, when I look at him, and then he's a little clunky with his feet. So if Benavidez is backing him up, which I believe, which is what'll happen if they ever fought, he wouldn't be able to defend himself on the inside and just would end up getting tagged up. You know what I mean? Benavidez will wear him down. But that's a good fight though. I ain't saying by no means am I saying I don't want to see the fight. Shit, I want to see that fight. That's gonna be a good one. Shit, I actually been wanting to see that fight for the last year or so. Since I seen Morrell, you know, for the first time, but shit, I think Benavidez will beat the shit out of him now, you know, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think Benavidez will get him too. Yeah. That'll be a good fight though, man.
Oh, it'll be a damn good fight. Go says Morrell is someone I know personally, willing to fight dude. So Team Benavidez can stop the cap, keep it honest, and either make that or Andrade. If they can't, I don't want to hear nothing. Yeah. Okay. Go saying okay. I hear you. Make the fight. Go ahead.
Tell you what, man. If Ghost know Morrell personally, then Ghost need to go ahead and talk to Ronnie Shields. Get you to Ronnie Shields because it seemed like Ronnie Shields is the only one that don't want to fight.
Right. Absolutely. For real. My guy, the villain in the building says, I'm expecting Earl, Jermall, and Jermall all to move up in weight next year, but by stoppage. Oh, we know what time it is. Counter punch. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Jermall to move. Jermall. if Bud win, right? And this is a whole like step into a whole nother realm, but I'll just ask that question and then we're gonna keep it moving. But if Bud beats Earl, which I mean we feel like is gonna happen, and Jermall moves up, would y'all consider that a duck?
Duck.
That Jermall moves up?
Yeah, and Jermall moves up to 160.
You saying like after Bud beats Spence and then Jermall decides to move up and he still has the belts?
Right, because he's gonna fight the Castazu guy. So
yeah.
if he
I think it'll be a duck if that's the case.
Yeah. I don't know why Jermall would not want that fight. So I mean, that's the biggest payday for him is a Bud Crawford fight. And that's a smaller dude. That should be a guy you should want to get in the ring with over all these other dudes you're in the ring with right now. So, but you never know what they expect with some of these dudes, man. Jermall is a dude who, he's been solid so far for the most part, but you just never know. He is a Charlo. We see what his brother be on.
Yeah, but he to me, he's ducking the smoke with Crawford anyway, because this dude got it just as much excuses as Earl Spence.
Yeah.
This dude come out, he'd be like, man, he need to go fight that tall, linky motherfucker.
Right.
He just got excuses out the ass when it comes to Crawford.
Yeah. What make you think he deserve a fight with me? That's all that shit.
Yeah. He'd be like, how he jump from here to there?
What? Yeah, dude, crazy.
Be a challenger sometimes.
Yeah, dude, chirping, bro. My guy GK Black in the building. He say Andrade done showed up to Charlo, Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, GGG fights. It's gotten him nowhere. I'm honestly at a loss on what he should do to get a big name. Yeah, man, he really has done a lot in order to get a lot of these dudes in the ring with him, and it's still not working. So, I think you make a really good point there, GK Black. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it just takes a consistent effort. One thing that I haven't seen Andrade do is when he's calling a guy out, like continue to go on the media calling him out. Like I've never seen Andrade go on a campaign of just calling out and disrespecting a particular fighter and staying on his neck the way how I think he should. At least with guys that are a little more attainable or that have the temperament to want to see him. Like I think David Benavidez, a guy that really wants to fight the best competition, a guy who clearly cares about his image. I think a guy like that, consistently calling a guy out like that, I think will result in a fight actually happening later on down the road. Not even later on the road, sooner rather than later, in my opinion. But I hear what you're saying, though, GK, all day, every day. My guy, Modern King Boxer says, hit that like. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. If you're new to the building, man, y'all be sure to hit that goddamn like button one time for your boy, man. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe also, man. Appreciate y'all for coming on through. Go says Andrade is the only champion who calls out his mandatories. What else? Who else do that? Facts. Man, Andrade was calling out Jaime Munguia. You know what I'm saying? When Jaime Munguia was his mandatory for like 2 years, man. Another guy who I could think of who does that was Devin Haney. For a while, Ryan Garcia was Devin Haney's mandatory, and Devin Haney was calling him out. And Devin Haney is kind of a good example to use in this situation, because we see that these guys clearly didn't want to fight Devin Haney, and then when he finally gets one of them in the ring, George Kambosos, it's a complete blowout, And I predict it'll be a similar situation if Andrade ever got any of these other niggas in the ring who we talking about. But let's keep it going though. My guy Modern King Boxing says Andrade is the super champ. I believe the WBO is a guy who can move up and fight for a belt also. He's actually not a super champ though, Modern King, which is crazy. You know what I mean? They never gave him that designation yet. And it's because I guess he's not unified, any divisions. So they have to vote on those things. But even so, I feel like he's done enough to be a super champion, but they just haven't made him one yet, which is crazy. You know what I mean? But let's keep it going on. Go says he called out Chris Eubank because Eubanks was in negotiation with Andrade first. Facts, he was. Conor Benn came in between Andrade versus Chris, which is why Sky Sports was trying to make for the last year and couldn't. Okay, so Ghost dropping facts on you. So yes, I do remember. I don't know if y'all recall, but I remember like a good 6 months, 8 months ago, Andrade was negotiating with Chris Eubank. I remember that was happening, you know. And then I remember for some reason everything just kind of went dark. You know, you never really heard about it. You know,
I don't know if he was technically in negotiations with Eubank. He might have offered them some money, whereas though they could have a fight. But remember, Roy Jones already came out and was like, they weren't even trying to fight Andrade back then.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was negotiations going on.
I do remember some talks that was being had about in Andrade and Eubank. You know, I mean, I could be wrong, but I do remember like that there was some ongoing negotiations between the two camps. You know what I mean? But you know,
I think that was right. Sorry to cut you off. I think it was like right around that time, like last like spring to summer.
Yeah.
And Hearn, I believe, did like an IFL interview, like he always does. And he pretty much said, "Oh, well, you know, we think about doing Andrade versus Eubank next." And then I think like literally like a month later was when Eubank's brother passed away. So, and then I think Quigley ended up calling out Andrade, so that fell through.
Right.
And Eubank went on to fight Williams, and we know what happened with that. So
right. That's exactly what happened right there. Of course, my guy, everybody fears Andrade gonna come through with the facts. Yeah, man, that's exactly what happened. So there was some negotiations going on. Granted, there was some stuff that came in between the fight happening, you know, with the you know, the death and everything like that. But you know, why is that? And also, I believe Chris Eubank, wasn't he ranked like number 1 or number 2 in the WBO, if I'm not mistaken?
No, I think he was at least top 5.
Yeah, like 4 or 5.
He was like 4 or 5. Yeah. And he was there before Janibek had even gotten to the picture. He was in that top 5. So they boosted Janibek in front of him, which was interesting considering they had never fought. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then also Eubank beat Williams, who was like the number 3 guy after Andrade beat him. So that should put Eubank in that number 1 or number 2 spot, right? Shouldn't he be in that spot over Janibek? Who did Janibek?
KD, you don't know what WBO stands for, bro?
Oh,
right. Whatever Bob orders. So,
man, I tell you, man, the corruption in boxing.
I forgot Eubank beat Williams first. That's crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he sure did beat Eubank, man. It was a tough fight for him too. You know what I mean? But you know, that goes to show you that Williams is a tough dude.
Yeah, right. And you got the people who say, "Oh, well, Andre struggled with Williams," which is a conversation within itself. Like, how do you struggle with somebody you beat their asses for 9 fucking rounds, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it goes to show like what Eubank did. Yeah, he knocked him down like about 3 or 4 times, if I remember right. But I'm always gonna say, like, Andre softened that man up for Eubank.
Oh yeah. Andrade took some years off of the
career. And that's the thing. Like, you can say, "Oh man, he called him." Like, it's just one mark. He always tries to troll me, talking about, "Oh well, if Canelo did the same thing." Well, Canelo gasses out too. You know, like, that's the thing. They always say, like, "Oh well, Andre gasses out in the later rounds." Canelo gasses out too, and we just saw it in his last fight. So you got somebody in Andre who moves around, and that's the thing. Like, motherfuckers act like this is like fucking Mortal Kombat. Like, everybody's supposed to get like perfect rounds,
right?
And never take damage. So we've let the narrative get spread that, "Oh well, he ain't an elite fighter because Liam Williams caught him on his back foot, and that's the only thing we can use."
Right. As if no other fighter gets buzzed. We can just go around talking about all the fighters that get buzzed. And, you know, it's only for the fighters that they don't like, right? You know what I mean? Because everybody that they like, they try to justify that shit. They
did that shit with Haney too.
Yeah.
When he had that one fight where we was going into the 11th round, out the 11th round
Lamar,
to the 12th.
Yeah, with Lamar Red.
Yeah, and he got stunned. Oh man, he was doing a stanky leg. He went against T.O. He get knocked out, but we never saw the fight. So,
But when Canelo got hurt by Miguel Cotto, bum ass brother, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want to talk about that shit. Oh, he was developing. He was young. That dude had like 30 something fights. 30 something.
Yo, that shit was forgotten about.
You know what I mean?
Nobody talk about that shit.
Oh yeah. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about Liam Williams landing a good shot or buzzing Demetrius Andrade. You know what I'm saying? You know. How about Emmanuel Larte when he buzz Earl Spence or Ugas when he buzz Earl? Come on, man. It's boxing. People get hit. Dudes sound foolish when they continue to keep bringing up this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it, man. I really don't. I mean, I get it, but it's just like you can't call yourself no real boxing fan if you
boxing fan, right? You're a boxer fan.
Boxer fan. There you go. I like that right here. Sees for sure. My guy, Modern King Boxing says Zach Parker or Yanabek at this point. Charlo a punk, bro, and PBC. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Zach Parker or Yanabek. I'm not mad at it. Nobody. Let me go to the poll real quick. Hold on. Let's go to the poll real quick. Put a star here. Let's go to the poll. So I'm gonna go to the poll, and the question that I got in the poll here is, who do you think Demetrius Andrade should go after next? So I never really added any kind of context to this question. When I'm saying go after, I really mean pursue a fight with, right? Like actively pursue a fight with, because we know that Yanabek is a fight he doesn't necessarily need to actively go after, because that's the only fight that's really on the table for him. He's the number one. He's the mandatory challenger for the WBO, right? So the question is more geared towards the other fighters, right, that are on this list. When I mean go after, I mean call out, I mean try to make the fight with these guys as opposed to what you currently have on the table. And right now I have 40% of the people right now that vote Jermall Charlo. Demetrius Andrade should go after Jermall Charlo. I got 30 votes. I got 37% of everybody that says Demetrius Andrade should go after David Benavidez, right? I got 20% of everybody that says Demetrius Andrade should go after Yanabek Alam-Kaluli, right? And then I got 0. So nobody voted for this. Zach Parker. Nobody wants Andrade to go after Zach Parker, but Zach Parker is the guy who puts him in a position for Canelo Alvarez's belt at 168 pounds. Zach Parker is the guy that puts him in a position to be able to unify with a David Benavidez at 168 pounds or a David Morrell at 168 pounds, you know? So I'm surprised that nobody voted for that, but honestly, in my opinion, you know what I mean? And we were talking about this earlier, but I'll just restate it. Yanabek should really be Andrade's last option. He really should be. If he fights Yanabek again, I'm not mad at it, but these other fights are far more significant. They're far more impactful in his career at the twilight of his career. Therefore, they should be the fights that he pursued. But let's keep it going. Let me read some more of these. And actually, before we read more comments, let me ask y'all. And I think y'all said it. I think y'all said which I voted for, but I'm not 100% sure. I wish Knockout was here so I could. Well, I know what Knockout voted.
Yeah, I voted for Zach Parker. I don't know why it didn't come up.
Yeah, I saw 0 on there for Zach Parker. Okay, so you voted for Zach Parker, C's.
Yep. Okay. When I was looking at the poll when I was in the chat, it said the percentage for Parker up there.
Yeah. And hold on, let me look at it again. Maybe I'm tripping.
It was a small percent. I think it was at 5 or something like that. But I definitely clicked on Zach Parker.
Okay. Let me see. It might be me tripping. Actually, it's kind of cut out there.
Right now it says 2% for Zach Parker.
2% on Zach Parker. Yeah. I'm the only person who clicked that shit.
2% for Zach Parker. Okay. All right, let me go with you, Bo. Which one did you vote for? I think you said it earlier. I think you said Yanabek, but let me.
I will go for Janet back because, to be honest with you, those other fights are not even realistic. The PBC basically blackballed the shit out of Andrade. Jermall shit, that shit is all cap. Jermall ain't trying to fight him. David Benavidez, manager, Samson Lukowicz, he ain't even trying to fight him, and along with the PBC. And you already heard the network with Showtime with Steven Espinoza, coming out with shit. So those shits are not even realistic. And to me, the only person that legitimately want to fight it with no obstacles is Janabek. So I'm like, yeah, he need to go fight Janabek.
I hear you. The other thing about the Janabek fight is Andrade Top Rank would buy the fight, so they'd own the rights to the fight, so they would control everything that has to do with that fight.
Yeah, but Andre is a promotional free agent, so he working with Salita, and Salita got a good rapport with Top Rank and a lot of other promotional companies. Whereas though, if he beat Janabek, maybe he'll do a couple of fights with Top Rank, and Top Rank ain't afraid to get. Top Rank got some pull when it comes to certain fighters and stuff. So if he beats Janabek, that's a good look for Andre.
Okay. Might happen. Everybody fears Andrade. What about you, bro? What did you vote for?
I voted for Janabek. I mean, I pretty much stated my reasons why earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, the PBC options just seem shot. Like the motherfuckers don't want to fight you. Charlo already said you blackhearted. Samson said they want to start at $7 million just to
10 million.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
there you go. And Parker, like I said, and Mo just said it in the chat. I mean, I know I said it earlier too about them counting the defense against Plant. So at this point, you use Janabek as a stepping stone to be able to get these fights. You continue to hunt. You continue to say, all right, you motherfucker said I couldn't beat this guy, that I was ducking him, that I was scared of him. I beat his ass. Now somebody else step up. Like, he's got to keep going. Like, at this point, I get it. Like, you don't want this fight because of the money. But sometimes you got to take that short money to be able to get that big money. And I understand, like, there's a step down after that zone contract. Like, man was getting $2-3 million a fight. And then you go from that to having to possibly fight for like the minimum mandatory. Yeah.
Well, that money is not set in stone. That's just a purse bid if they don't come to an agreement.
Right.
And that's just the starting purse bid. So that can always increase.
But Bo, like, let's be honest, bro. It's been about 15 days since they called for the mandatory. Since they ordered it, it's probably gonna go to purse bid because we haven't heard shit since. So
yeah,
I think more than likely it's about to go to purse bid.
Hey, Bo, I think what you were saying though is that they probably, they'll probably bid well over the minimum, is what you were saying, right, Bo?
Yeah,
that's what Bo. Yeah, which they probably will, but it's still probably gonna be a low number, even if it turns out to be $1 million. What does that mean? 500 for Andrade or 700 for Andrade or something like that, and 300,000 for Janabek. I don't know
but I think Eddie Hearn will step back in his purse bid, right? Even though him and Andrade's not together, Eddie Hearn will probably feel like, well, shit, it's already mandatory. This is a good fight. I could do numbers with the zone, and then Bob Arum be like, well, shit, hold up, we ain't letting Janabek roll over there, so we gonna put in a purse bid. So I think the bidding wars be happening between both of them.
You know what though, bro? The thing about it is Eddie Hearn's already on record saying that the zone don't even want this fight. He said the zone don't want it, and that they remember they actually lost it before. I think it already went to purse bid, didn't it? If I'm not mistaken. And
no, they didn't get that far because then that's when the WBO allowed him to go to 168 with the option of either coming back down or staying.
Oh, okay. But you do remember when Eddie Hearn was saying that the network didn't want that fight, right?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah, I remember.
I
Yeah,
didn't hear that
December.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said.
yeah. No, I remember the interview was like it's something along the lines of, I mean, he pretty much said like, "Who the fuck is Janavek?" Like the guy only, no offense to him, but he only has 11 fights, and we want Demetrius in a big fight,
Right?
And at least with the Parker fight that led to him being mandatory to Canelo, but like once again, the WBO going and playing games and saying, "Oh, well, you already fulfilled your mandatory." He's probably just like, "What the fuck?" Like, time's ticking. I got to be interim champion, and I got to defend my belt, defend an interim belt against all these other guys that are in the top 10, and I'm back in the same fucking position. Let me just try to get a bigger fight at 160 and go from there. But I mean, who really knew that things are going to play out the way that they played out? With Canelo losing the Bivol, I thought Canelo was actually going to take that PBC deal, but obviously he didn't, and we see why.
Okay, my guy Go says it's like this. Showtime wants Charlo versus Benavidez, as Charlo has a high chance of losing either. They want him to lose in-house, not to a guy who might not be with Showtime after 1 to 2 fights. That makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like I can understand that. You know what I mean? But does Jermall want that? Jermall don't seem like he want any parts of David Benavidez. None. You know what I mean? And honestly speaking, he has a much better chance of beating Demetrius Andrade than he does a David Benavidez, in my opinion. Jermall's style is all wrong for Benavidez. He's smaller than Benavidez. Like, it would just be a bad matchup for him. And he would lose, honestly. He would lose to Andrade too, but at least he would have a puncher's chance versus Andrade, a guy who's naturally smaller. You know what I mean? He would have more of a puncher's chance in that fight as opposed to a Benavidez. But
I see it a little different. I think Charlo has a better chance of beating David Benavidez because one thing Charlo does have, he has a great jab, and a jab always bothers David Benavidez. So I just, David Benavidez, he's a big guy. He let his hands go. He got quick hands and everything. But you got to remember the level of competition David Benavidez is fighting. He beat Anthony Durrell. That's a good win, but look at all these other dudes he's fighting. These are like blown up middleweights and blown up, washed up middleweights on top of that. So I just think Charlo has a better chance. I'm not saying he'll beat David Benavidez, but I just think he has a better chance against a David Benavidez who's a stationary target compared to a Demetrius Andrade who's going to be moving around and boxing circles around this dude.
Interesting. Okay, let me rebuttal that. So for me, I think David Benavidez, when I look at the stylistic matchup, I see David Benavidez as a volume puncher. But on the other hand, I see Jermall Charlo as a guy who doesn't really throw that many punches. So when you put those two styles together, usually the guy who throws more punches usually is able to win if the fight goes 12 rounds versus the guy who doesn't throw as many punches. Now, the guy who doesn't throw as many punches, he usually, in order for him to win the fight, he usually has to be very good at one or two skills, right? He either has to be a really good counter puncher, meaning he has to slow down the work rate of the guy who throws a lot of punches, and usually he has to have good power in order to keep the guy who throws a lot of punches honest. Now, the thing about that fight is David Benavidez is a bigger guy. He has a really, really good chin. And Charlo hasn't really been a guy who's been knocking people out at the higher weights. As a matter of fact, I don't think Charlo's even knocked anybody out at 160 pounds. I could be wrong because I'm just going off the top right now. So if he moves up to 168, I really don't see his power moving up to be able to keep Benavidez off of him. Enough with his current punch volume, like with the little punches that he does throw, I don't see him being able to hit Benavidez flush enough to keep him honest enough to be able to pick up a 12-round unanimous decision. And I don't see him knocking David Benavidez out either. You know what I mean? So I think David Benavidez has more ways to win because he could outwork Charlo to 12 rounds, or he could just knock Charlo out, with something and really hurt him and get him out of there because he got power as well. You know what I'm saying? You want to respond to that, Bo?
Yeah, I mean, no, I can see your point and stuff, but what I'm saying is that I just think Charlo will give David Benavidez more problems because just for the simple fact of the matter, David Benavidez, he's stationary. Like you have to literally be in one spot for him to get his shots off. Like him and his brother both had quick hands. Now, unfortunately, his brother's, he's not that guy, but you saw Danny Garcia outbox his brother, right? And what I'm saying is that Jermall can actually box, despite all the antics the guy he to me, he's more talented than Jermall. Jermall just got more dog in him, seemed like he wants more smoke. But if I'm looking at talent for talent, I think Jermall has better talent than Jermall. And I think Jermall he'll jab and just, probably move around. I don't think he's going to make it a slugfest with David Benavidez. But at the end of the day, like if David Benavidez traps Jermall Charlo, yeah, he'll put it on Jermall Charlo, probably get him out of there and everything else. But I just think it'd be a lot harder for him to beat Demetrius Andrade, a guy who's literally going to box circles around him. That's why I think a lot of these guys, they come up with excuses of saying, they be calling Demetrius Andrade horrible and all this other stuff. And just say whatever just so they won't get in the ring with him because they know Demetrius Andrade is an actual boxer.
I just think that in a Charlo fight, at least Charlo will have a puncher's chance versus Andrade. I don't see him having a puncher's chance in there with Benavidez at all. He would have to outbox Benavidez, but he don't got the skills to outbox Benavidez, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That's why I see that as more of a tough fight, but I don't see him beating Andrade either. So it is what it is. Salute to my guy, Buckle Up Boxing Talk in the building. Salute to you. Salute to Mango Juice 07, also in the motherfucking building. And my guy, D-Ray Promotions, also in the building, man. Salute to y'all guys for coming through, man. You know what I mean? I'll drop that link too. So if any of y'all want to come up here and cook, man, feel free to come up here and cook. Does anybody want to respond to anything that either me or Bo said, or Bo, do you want to rebut what I said?
See, my thing is, I think a big thing that people missing with Benavidez, or not Benavidez, Charlo, Maul moving up, is if you look at him right now, he's stiff. He's stiff at 160. And if he move up to 68, I'm telling you, I feel like he got too much muscle. Like he's gonna be way more stiff and slow and like robotic. That's how I see him moving up to 68. It's gonna be too much weight for him, I think.
So do you think Andrade is an easier fight for Charlo, or do you think Benavidez is an easier fight?
At what weight though? At 68, he's food, I think. I think Charlo's food at 68 for any of the elite.
So then the Andrade fight would be an easier fight at 160 then.
Oh yeah. I would have to say that, yeah, no question.
Okay. Okay. What about you?
Charlo need to stay at, my fault, bro. Charlo need to stay at 60. That's his best weight. He already robotic as it is at that weight. He was much better at 54. But you go ahead, bro. My fault.
Nah, no problem, man. I was gonna ask my guy. Everybody fears Andrade, man. What about you? What you think is an easier fight?
I think Andre would be. I think it'd be the Andre Charlo fight would be an easier fight. Man, just like Bold said, if he got trapped at Benavidez the way that Benavidez trapped Lemieux, it would look ugly, bro. And I mean, like, styles make fights. You know, I know that everyone always says that, but I think that, yeah, with Maul, he'd have a hell of a chance to catch Andre. Like, I at least, like, yeah, I'm a fan of Andre, but I'm also fair. He could get caught. Like, and he's older. Like, he's getting to the point where, like, you've seen him get hit a little bit more than he used to. and I know he's top 3 in least hit in boxing, but I'm not gonna take away from Maul's skill. Like, yeah, he's got a hell of a jab. That man has hella heart. People always like discount his heart. Like, I know, you know, you can say, well, a Korba fight and the Moniel fight, you know, that shit happens. You know, like I think with Moniel, he really, I think he even said, like, I don't even know who the fuck Moniel is. So I think he discounted the type of opponent he was fighting in Moniel, but I still want to see that fight, man. Like, it's been years in the making. Like, at the least, Maul just pay the motherfucker, get his ass out of there. Like, the time for excuses is done, but also I don't think that is Maul for the most part. I think it's PBC that's holding up the fight.
It is that to me. It's definitely the PBC, definitely, because at least with Jermall, even though he be speaking duck language, the one thing he is consistent about that a lot of other people be lying about, he just be like, "Yo, I'm not a matchmaker." He letting you know he ain't his own boss. Like, a lot of these other dudes on PBC, they be capping like they could, you know, they their own boss and everything else. But you notice those fights still never get made.
Facts. But you know what though? One thing about it is, man, I forgot what the hell I was gonna say. Shit.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I hate that shit. I almost had it too.
You know what's crazy? Once again, I'm looking at the super middleweight rankings, and I don't know if y'all heard, like, within the last few days, that the rumors that Munguia is supposed to be fighting Ryder. And if I recall correctly, once again, I'm gonna go back to this Twitter space that happened in March. Andre said he wanted Ryder after that Jacobs fight, and the Zone turned him down. Said, "Oh no, we're gonna save him for Canelo." Obviously, that ain't gonna happen now because they're going from Golovkin and then supposedly the rematch with Bivol. So, looking at, you know, 168,
I don't think Canelo want Bivol again.
You don't think so?
Nah, I think he said that shit for his fans. He'd be stupid if he want to fight Bivol again. Stupid or crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't think he wants to deal with Bivol.
I mean, I just don't know what his options are at 168. You know, I'm talking about Canelo. Post, you know, I could see that. He would take Parker, and his dumbass fans would be like, "Yeah, it's a good fight."
And see, if he does take Parker, this is where a lot of content creators need to fucking embarrass Canelo and be like, "Yo, who the hell is Parker?" Because remember, when Canelo said Demetrius Andrade is a horrible fighter, if he go after Parker, I don't want to hear this. Oh, well, he was demanded to. Nah, because nobody was checking for Zach Parker. Remember, when Demetrius Andrade was going to fight Zach Parker, they said he was ducking Janet back.
Right.
Even though when he was going to fight Janet back before, they said he was ducking Zach Parker.
Yeah.
But, you know, if he
see how that works.
If he you know what I'm saying, if he go for Zach Parker, right? Remember, those same Canelo fans is like, "Oh, that's a nobody." So if Canelo does it, they got to keep that same energy on that.
I mean, who y'all got is far? I know we just kind of off topic, but who do y'all got with that Canelo versus GGG fight?
I hope GGG knock his ass out like Marquez did Manny Pacquiao in that 4th fight. I hope it's some shit like that because GGG won the first 2 fights to me. But I'm gonna say it like this though: if you think about it, with Andrade, it was the same thing with Billy Joe Saunders. Remember, he tried to fight Billy Joe Saunders, right? Billy Joe ducked him, ran up to 168. He tried to, and a lot of people don't remember this, but Andrade tried to move up to 168 to fight Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO. And what did Billy Joe Saunders do? He bid it on his belt, right? He sold his belt to Canelo. He waited on Canelo, which you can't blame him for waiting on Canelo because we know that was the bigger payday. But he waited on Canelo, even though Andrade was trying to fight him. He fought Canelo and then lost to Canelo, right? So, I mean, You know.
You know, I think I brought this up last time I talked to you. That was something that Andre brought up before. He said that he was gonna move up to 168, and that was around the same time that Billy Joe was negotiating with Canelo. And if you remember around that time, Billy Joe was like, no, you got to fight Liam Williams, then you got to fight, then you can fight me. And the WBO was like, no, motherfucker, you can fight Andre. He can move up and become your automatic mandatory, right? So according to Andre, they were in he was in negotiations with Billy Joe. Billy Joe was in negotiations with Canelo also. Canelo lowballed him, and then Billy Joe said, well, fuck it, I'm going to go and fight Andre. And Canelo went and overpaid him.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
He used Andre as bait, basically.
Exactly.
Right?
To get more money out of it, because he recognized the threat that if Andre ended up fighting Billy Joe and beating him, exactly, Mango Juice, right.
No, that was right on the money. He used Andre as a chess piece, bro. Because so Canelo could get them, you know what I mean?
So when people go and say, oh, well, why didn't he go and move up to 168 when he had the chance before last May? That's why. Because when he had the chance, when he was going to move up, then he already lined up Billy Joe and Plant. And remember around that time, like that's when even Billy Joe was like, yo, I don't want to fight this. I'm not Billy Joe, Plant was saying, I don't want to fight this motherfucker yet because they trying to get me while I'm weak.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, so he was already trying to line up like all these guys at 168. And if you, and I've made this point plenty of times before for all the people who like to say, oh, well, he fought all the champions at 168. If you go and say that Demetrius Andrade hasn't fought anybody, don't fucking tell me that these guys that were champions fought somebody, because none of them were ready for Canelo. You can't tell me that Billy Joe, who fought, who was it, Martin Murray, Caceres, who I think, who did Caceres fight?
Lemieux, fucking.
No. Lemieux was 160. He said Lemieux was a
bum.
bum.
At 68, yeah.
Yeah, at 68, he fought. He moved up to fight Shefat for the vacant belt. Then I think he fought Caceres and then Murray, right? And then with Plant, he fought oh God, was it Brandt and Lee? And then we already know about fucking Avni Yildirim. You know, he lost his last fight out in Turkey. I was watching that shit. I'm like, how the fuck can you go and say?
Suleiman, he was getting crazy criticism for it, and he straight came out and said it. The videos are still up. He said Canelo requested him
Exactly
as an opponent.
Well, no, but that's the thing that people don't remember was that the zone originally blocked that
it wasn't
fight.
a mandatory. He actually said it wasn't a mandatory.
But the zone originally blocked that fight.
Yeah, right.
Because he was like, oh, I'm gonna fight Avni Yildirim next. And the zone was like, no, Callum Smith. That's who I forgot. I'm sorry. And then they were pretty much like, okay, well, fight Callum Smith then. Fuck it, that'll satisfy us.
Yeah, they was already pissed at him because he chose to fight the bull his first fight. What was his name? He had the Reggie belt.
Rocky Fielding.
Rocky Fielding, yeah, he chose him first. Canelo didn't want to go undisputed. He had as 160 who had the last belt. And I ain't trying to hate on Canelo. I'm just being honest, bro. Andrade had the last belt at 160, bro. And he
but that's the thing, though. You don't realize, and I'm being sarcastic when I say this. See, he went and he requested to the IBF that he wanted to fight Andrade, but Derevyanchenko went and dragged his feet with the negotiations, and Golden Boy fucked up the negotiations. So
he didn't request to fight Andrade. I read that whole article. What happened was the negotiation was originally between Derevyanchenko and Canelo, and then it started talk about money and everything else. And on top of that, they told Canelo and Golden Boy, if you were to take a fight with Andrade, it gotta happen before this deadline. So that deadline been passed. And what happened was that fight with Deryachenko that fell through with the IBF. And then all of a sudden, as a last resort to try to keep the IBF belt, they said, "Oh well, we'll fight Andre for the unification." That's basically what really happened right there. They weren't really trying to fight Andre. They were just trying to keep that IBF belt.
Yeah, it was a move to save face. That's all it was.
Pretty much.
That's all it was. Is a move to save face. He's never wanted to fight the guy. And he directly contradicted himself. He said, "Oh yeah, what did he say? Cuatro Titulos." He said that after he fought Jacobs, but then he said later on in the year, in like the fall, like right around the time that with Kovalev, "I don't want to fight Andre. Fuck him." He's never wanted that fight. His actions say it's that.
He was saying that the fight wouldn't be excited. He said the fight wouldn't be excited and that they will blame him and all that other stuff. That was his first excuse. When they kept pressuring him, and he was like, "Oh well, it won't be exciting, and everybody will blame me for it." And then the next one came out, the old "you're a horrible fighter" and all this other stuff, or "you fought with nobody." But it's kind of funny that Canelo said that when he fought a Rocky Fielding, when he fought an Avni Yildirim, when he fought
Avni Yildirim,
like all these horrible fighters that he fought, right? His fans will keep giving him a pass for it, but when it comes to Andre, and his fans know Andre is a good fighter or at least a threat to him, they just they'd be like, "Oh nah, Andre ain't fought nobody," because anytime somebody that they know is good that want to fight Canelo, what they do is they try to shit on that fighter. Because remember when this whole thing with Bivol and Canelo first came out, it was like, well, who did Bivol beat? Bivol don't deserve that fight. But they knew in the back of their mind, they like, man, Bivol probably boxed the shit out of this dude.
And that's the you know what? You just reminded me of something, Bo. And I'm sorry for cutting you off, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
When Andre first moved up to 68 with the whole Parker thing, I remember Canelo fans being like, "Well, why is he trying to move up to fight Canelo? Canelo ain't gonna fight him anyway because he's about to go undisputed at 175." So they already thought it was a foregone conclusion that he was about to just sweep through every fucking body at 175, right? That Andre was never gonna get this fight at 68. So don't tell me that, oh well, Bivol was gonna do this. Bivol's gonna do this will beat Andre. You had no sort of confidence that he was gonna beat Canelo, and now that this happened, now you want to kiss his ass. That's all it is. Like the contradictions with Canelo fans. Like I've been busy over the last like 3-4 months. I got a kid now, so like I really haven't had the chance to troll like I used to. So I'm like,
congratulations, fam. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
So I ain't had the chance to troll. Like, if I'm at the gig, I'm like, man, fuck it, I got the energy today. Fuck this shit. But like when it comes to what's been going on for the last couple of weeks with the whole Eubank thing, and that's the thing too, that people ain't really talked about. He did a live earlier that day on Facebook where he pretty much called out them same names: Benavidez, Charlo. And it was somebody else. Oh God, I can't remember right now. Eubank, yeah, it was Eubank, but it wasn't.
Charlo was drunk.
It was Charlo Benavidez
and De La Hoya too. He was drunk.
No, that was what's his name? He called out De La Hoya. Charlo.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, but Andre had released a video. He did a live on Facebook earlier that morning before that video with him being in the street calling out Eubank later in the day came out. And he even said, like, hey, I want these fights. He's like, if I can get these fights, he's like, I'm going to take it. He's like, but the champ is still going to be the champ. So he's pretty much said, I'm going to take this Janabek fight if I got to take it, but I'm going to explore my options in the meantime. But people always ignore, but it doesn't fit the narrative of Demetrius Andrade because he's scared of everybody. He doesn't want to step up fight. He just wants to cash out like nobody else in boxing wants to make money.
Fact. His age ain't helping him. His age is not helping him. I feel like Top Rank should just say fuck it. If the Janabek, if his options don't fall through, or if they fall through or whatever with these other big names, if he's go ahead to fight Janabek, Top Rank need to go ahead And whoever wins this fight, just push your promotion behind him. Push your promotion behind the winner of that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Janabek about to be 32. You know what I'm saying? They can try to make they run at 160 and get the belts they can there to have domination, whatever. Or they can push Andre or Janabek up to 68 and try to force a Canelo fight. So there's options there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why Top Rank wouldn't want Andre, you know, in that position. I don't understand it. Like, they can have that man right in the stable, you know?
I mean, but that's the thing, though. Like, and they have options. I think Bob, what he's trying to do, he's trying to corner 160 because, like I said, he's got Falcao at IBF, and then he's got Janabek in the WBO. So when you got a chance to be able to corner 2 belts, you don't want your 2 fighters to be fighting each other, you know, because the Triple G ends up. I think he's done either way after this next fight, whether he wins.
Yeah, those belts going to become vacant.
Thank God. Leave Triple G, please.
So
I think that's the only good thing about this third fight that we got to look forward to for the most part. I think whoever loses this fight, whoever loses is going to go away, and it's the best thing ever. You know, Canelo goes away, we don't got a whole bunch of people chasing Canelo. Triple G goes away. Hopefully he'll vacate the belts or, you know, and go away. You know what I mean? Because that's what needs to happen, man. You know, these dudes been holding up the division too long. Triple G got 2 belts right now, 160. For what? When you're not trying to unify with the most dangerous opponents at that weight division. So go ahead and lose and just retire. You got your Canelo Alvarez settlement, which is what the hell you was waiting on this whole time. Go away. But go ahead, y'all.
And I think, to be honest, if Canelo was to lose this third fight, like legitimately lose on the scorecards, that would probably be the only time he'll be thinking about, hey, I'll make a fight with Demetrius Andrade. That's the only way I can see Canelo fighting Demetrius.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that, man. I can see that. To try to redeem. Yo, and you know what? I seen an interview, man. I seen an interview with this dude. I can't remember his name. He's a Mexican guy. And he worked with Top. He might still work with Golden Boy, but he said he worked with him for a while, right? And he was breaking it down on the fans. Like, he said, yeah, Canelo got a lot of his Mexican hardcore fans, but he said, don't get it twisted. He said there's about the same amount of majority of people that despise him and don't like him because of the way he's moving his career. He was like the hardcores. This nigga was breaking it down, man. He was like, listen, they don't respect him. He was like, where are you from? Guadalajara. He was like, them down there. He said they don't respect him because the
Mexicans do not care for him. The Mexican Americans are the ones
hardcore motherfuckers. Yeah, he said they don't respect the shit that he been doing. They know he been this duck tactic shit and all that. Like, so don't get it twisted. Like all Mexicans is you know, on some fanboy shit for that nigga blindly.
It's the Mexican Americans that really put all that weight behind them because no offense to you all, but that's the only fighter y'all got. After Canelo, y'all ain't got nobody that's really. I mean, Bam. I like Bam.
Listen, them niggas know boxing just like how we do, bro. They be rapping about it just like how we rapping about it now, bro.
But I can tell you the next person they gonna push once Canelo, you know, once he get done, the next person they gonna push is Jaime Munguia.
Oh my fucking god!
They gonna push him. They gonna push him hard because he's fighting a bunch of scrubs, right? But he's a marketable fighter. With Golden Boy, Jaime Munguia, he's marketable like crazy.
Yeah, but you want to talk about somebody who isn't fighting anybody? Jaime Munguia isn't fighting no fucking body. Like,
I don't agree with that.
And the thing is, and this is like, and I've made this point to Canelo fans like over and over again. I'm like, when they say, "Oh, well, Janabek is Mondre's mandatory," I'm like, yeah, the only reason he's his mandatory is because Munguia turned down his shot.
Salute D Young in the building. Salute Shamika Jackson in the building. Salute to y'all, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, like the only reason that Janabek is in this position is because Munguia turned down his mandatory shot.
And he turned down the eliminator with Janet back.
Exactly. But we give him a pass for it.
Oh, that ain't no duck though.
A lot of that has to do with De La Hoya too, though. Let's not get that twisted.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, they did the same thing, but they did the same thing back in 2014 with Andre, where Canelo was his #1 contender.
Yep.
And Andre's calling him out, but yet he goes and fights Kirkland instead.
Yep. Ryan Garcia, same thing with Devin Haney. Same thing with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia was the mandatory for Devin Haney's belt for about 2 years? He was a year.
Yeah.
He was a mandatory.
And JoJo ducked right into each other.
Yep.
Yeah, but you gotta remember with those fighters that you just named, what do they have in common?
Oh, Golden Boy.
Golden Boy. Right. That's their little tactic that they like to use to protect their fight.
And that's the only reason why I say Munguia is a marketable. If you look at Munguia fights, he be having a crowd like sell out joints, even though he's fighting against bums. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I just think
his record is padded just like Canelo's was when his career started. He got Munguia got like 40 fights.
Yeah.
40 pro fights. He's like 40-0 or something like that. The shit is crazy. Ain't fought nobody, but he got 40 fights.
Yeah. Michael Sullivan was giving that man the business. I don't give a fuck.
He's a great action fighter, though, man. He is pretty exciting to watch. Yeah, because he gets hit too. Like he got his flaws.
He's excited to watch.
Yeah,
that's the reason why he sells out, because he's exciting to watch. In his last fight, when he got that knock over that dude was whipping his ass and shit.
Yeah,
he just had to get the knockout.
That dude a bum though, bro. He gonna get
exposed. He gonna get smoked if he go up against the elite. They know that. That's why they Golden Boy keep pulling these same tactics.
Oh, he's not ready. He's not ready. Oh yeah, he ain't never gonna be ready. Go ahead and keep feeding the journeyman. Have him keep fighting journeyman. That's all he got in.
Is he gonna be ready?
They try to push him to fight Triple G, man. I think Triple G would knock his ass out.
For real.
Watch that man.
For real.
40-year-old Triple G watching.
They trying to get him in there with dudes that they know, like either past they building him the same way they built Canelo. Honestly, they using the same blueprint. You know, but Canelo a better fighter than him. He a bum. Fucking bum.
I mean, bro, like that's the thing I just don't get about boxing these days. Like, and you can blame Andre and say, oh, well, he isn't trying to fight anybody. But when you look at the 160 division and how everybody's moved around for the last 4 years, and I don't want to hear shit about 154. 154 is dead and gone. What's in the past is in the past. We're talking about what happened at 160. When you look at the last 3 to 4 years of what's happened at 160 with Triple G, who's he fought post Canelo? Derevianchenko, Rolls, and Cereza Ramita.
And I thought he lost that Derevianchenko fight.
Oh yeah, he lost that shit, bro. That was a loss. And then he fought Murata, and people will give him credit. Oh well, yeah, of course he should have fought Murata. That was a money fight. Murata was an elevated champion.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even beat anybody. You all talk about Demetrius Andrade fighting for a fucking vacant belt. Y'all talk about Devin Haney being an email champion. That motherfucker Murata was an email champion for real.
Right. You got a lot of email champions in boxing right now that are really real email champions. You know what I mean?
Bro, like the man was a legitimate email champion. And then y'all want to talk about how Janabek beat Endom, the same Endom that beat Murata. Yeah, he beat him in the rematch. Murata beat him in the rematch, but he still lost to the man.
No, that wasn't Endom. That was Brand.
No, he lost to Brand and Endom.
Brand and Endom.
Those were his 2 losses before Triple G.
Oh, I didn't even realize he lost to Endom.
Yeah, he lost to Endom by decision.
Endom, the same nigga Triple G knocked down 6 times. Wow. And he was like almost 40. What the fuck, bro? But we supposed to believe that Murata's is this like wonderful, this great fighter. You know what I'm saying? And Triple G is fighting the best by going overseas in order to get out of here, man. Get up out of here. I was really hoping Murata knocked Triple G ass out, but
I was too, bro. That was the day my daughter was born. And I'm sitting in the hospital with my laptop. I'm like, please, Murata, it's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Right.
I'm like, man, knock this motherfucker out, please. I'm like, I'm half asleep. I'm like, man, this will be the happiest day of my life for real.
Oh, man, but it's okay. I guess Canelo gonna do it. Well, either way, this fight go, I'm gonna be happy.
Right, they cancel each other out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, y'all can knock each other out. Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, but I do want to see, like, after Demetrius, if he fights Janet back, shit, let him fight Murata, because that's just gonna be name building for him. Even though Murata he's a decent fighter. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a decent fighter. But Demetrius beat Janet back. Go fight Murata. Get him on your resume and everything else. Because to me, that 160 division, that's a dead division to me.
Yeah,
that's literally a dead division. I don't see any young guys at 160 coming up doing anything right now.
Yeah, it's like nobody wants to do anything in 160 except for Andre.
Right.
You know, like
Charlo want to fight everybody except Andre at 160. He want to fight Triple G.
When he had the chance to go and call that man out in front of a large audience on Tyson's podcast. Oh, we don't do that no more, man. We don't do that no more. And
talking about Benavidez?
No, Charlo, when he was on Tyson's podcast.
Oh yeah.
And Tyson's like pushing him, like, yo, name them fucking names. Like,
yeah. It's like, here's your chance, man. Please call them out. Please call them out.
Right. Wait,
like,
who you want to fight, man? I want to fight them all, man.
He's like, yeah, this is Jermall Hitman Charlo. Who won it?
That's exactly how he was, man. Who won it? Like, yeah, but name them names, man. Then they know who they are.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, that's
like, bro, like who's gonna take offense to you saying, Andre, sign the fucking contract, I'm gonna avenge you fucking ducking my brother? I'd be like, you know what? Cool. Shit, let's see the fight.
Yeah, let's see the fight. My guy Ghost here in the building. He says Demetrius and Demetrius Salida are trying to make Lara or Charlo next. If neither fighters make that happen, Andre will make another move. Interesting. What's that other move you talking about, Ghost? What's that other move Andre would make? A Lara fight is good. Lara. Wait, didn't I hear something about Lara trying to fight Keith Thurman or some shit like that?
No, Danny Garcia or some shit.
Danny Garcia did call him out, but I had heard something before, something about Lara trying to fight Keith Thurman or something at a catch weight.
And Lara's supposed to be in position to be the mandatory for Triple G's belt.
Right. Which
it's funny how nobody has ever called out Triple G for ducking Lara. Like the same duck.
Triple G is a chronic.
Lara's wanted that fight with Triple G too.
Triple G
boxers get like criticism, and certain fighters don't. Like, I'm just saying.
Triple G is even worse than Canelo, honestly. Triple G, this dude been in the same weight class.
Fight blown 154s. Triple G.
I ain't gonna lie. I like Triple G. I mean, I'm not gonna because if we criticize Triple G for being at 160 his whole career, and people gonna start criticizing Marvelous Hagler. And Marvelous Hagler was all about that smoke. So I don't want to criticize Triple G for just standing in the same division and whatnot.
No, but you know what? Here go the thing though. There's a huge difference. Like, it's a difference between when you in the same division and you dominating the division, you fighting everybody who come in your way, and you beating them and you reigning at that division. It's a difference between doing that and doing what Triple G is doing, which is cherry picking. You know what I mean? Cherry picking and choosing this fight and ducking this fight for the longest time. Marvin Hagler wasn't ducking nobody like no damn Triple G. Triple G has been in the same weight division. But unlike Canelo Alvarez, there's no excuse for him not fighting the guys at middleweight, not trying to unify those belts. At least Canelo Alvarez can say, oh, well, I moved up in weight. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't handle the weight no more. I'm too, the excuse them niggas like to use. I couldn't make the weight no more, so I moved up. And that's why I didn't fight this guy, or that's why I didn't fight that guy. No, Triple G ain't got none of them excuses. That nigga ain't fight nobody. He been at the same weight class and he ain't fight nobody. You know what I mean? Biggest hype job, cherry picker, bum of all time in boxing. Fuck Triple G.
I remember when Monterosian replaced Canelo in that fight, which is like what a lot of people like to use as some sort of argument against Andre.
Joint.
You said what, Bo?
That when he fought him because of that clenbuterol.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what people, the detractors of Andre, like to say is, oh well, Andre went 12 rounds with Vanez, and Vanez got knocked out in 2 rounds by Triple G, without saying that was Vanez's first fight at 160, and he hadn't fought in 2 years at that.
Like 2 years, yeah. And then on top, 2 years.
I think that was a short notice, John.
Yeah, it was a short notice fight too.
Yeah, because that was that whole clenbuterol joint. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't remember this too. Y'all know who wanted that fight, but HBO turned it down. Y'all know who wanted that fight?
Nah.
And he's probably glad as hell he ain't take it.
Who wanted to fight?
Jaime Munguia.
With Triple G?
Yup, he wanted that fight at that point.
Man,
and I can't remember if it was the commission or it was HBO that said, nah, man, we not going to give you.
Man, Triple G.
The thing that don't make sense about that is how would Jaime Munguia want to fight? He's with Golden Boy, and they have Canelo as well. That makes no sense.
Triple G would have knocked this block off, man. I mean, Munguia ain't ready. And then my thing is with Triple G, like I like Triple G. I like his style. He's come forward, but I gotta admit there was some fighters when Triple G was in his heyday. There was some fighters that weren't trying to fight him at middleweight, and I know Triple G did fight a lot of blown up fucking junior middleweights and shit, and welterweight and whatnot. But there were some some middleweights that weren't trying to fight Triple G at the time. Now, one thing I didn't like about Triple G is why didn't he fight Andre Ward? Like that, to me, that's why I kind of lost a little respect for him. I was like, man, you could have fought Andre Ward.
Yeah, that was the only fight that I seen through watching since I found out about Triple G, watching him, that really had big interest in me outside before even Canelo popped up. Because 160 honestly was dry. It was dry at that point. There really wasn't no big names at all. Andre Ward was his best option, but he stayed at 160.
But he was willing to move up to 168 for Canelo, right? Ain't that what he said? It was either Canelo. Who was it at the time? He said
actually, you're right. He said, his trainer said he'll fight anybody from 154, 160, and 168. He did say that.
Right.
He did say that.
And then Andre Ward was like, I'll fight you. And then I don't. I'm a 160 pounder.
You're right.
That's true. That's where I started to lose respect for Triple G when he said that right there.
Similar to what Jermall did with David Benavidez. Oh, I'm a 160 pounder. Oh, okay. You were talking all that shit. Now you a 160 pounder. All right,
break them. He said he was gonna break the man's neck.
No, that's because one of them title defenses is just like the names just definitely don't add up, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's really funny because him fighting Canelo really kind of capped it off to whereas though he can cap, like he was that man of that era because he did fight the best man, you could say, you know what I mean, in Canelo. But other than that, his resume definitely was lacking. I could definitely say that. And Canelo was moving up too. Well, he was 160 champion in WBC, but he did it at his Canelo weight, 155.
Yeah.
My guy GK Black says they got all this Mando energy for Yanabek, but was quiet as a church mouse when Gia was supposed to be next. These dudes be funny style. Hell yeah, man. Facts, GK Black. Absolutely.
Bro, they just want to see Andre lose. That's it.
Yeah. The thing going back to Triple G, like when he did that with Well, Andre Ward, that's when I lost respect. I started calling him Little G. I was like, man, Little G, man.
Little G. Yep. Andre Ward was calling him Little G too. He ain't responding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have gave us that fight. They didn't want to risk him losing.
Yeah, he ain't want that smoke, man. Ever since he saw
another thing, he was a silver medalist at 164 pounds in the Olympics. That's another reason I keep saying to people who think Canelo just gonna wash him, like, don't think he gonna wash him, bro. Like, him moving up in weight might actually help him.
Man,
but
Triple G 40 years old though, fam.
Yeah,
you're right. But he got one of the best jabs in boxing.
Mm-hmm. He's still a damn good fighter, bro. He's still damn good.
Canelo cannot take a jab. You know, unless he able to like walk you down, you have like.
I had Triple G winning both of the fights, and that's just my opinion. Yeah, I know people gonna get at me for that, like people always do, but I stand by what I say. I had Triple G winning the first fight and the second fight, close.
Me too.
I thought the second fight was a draw, but I definitely.
That's what I was saying too. I thought the second fight, if anything, was Triple G or a draw. That's what I felt. But the first, clearly Triple G.
And you know what? That's the thing too. Like Triple G, like man, this is his last. You know what I mean? Like these dudes are gonna cancel each other out, and I couldn't be happier for it.
He has to move on. Triple G, he holding up the division, bro. Yeah. He gotta let them belts go at 160. Honestly, you got your last, payday. You're about to get it with Canelo, bro. Can you let somebody else? I mean, other motherfuckers come up, bro. Like, let them two belts go, bro. God damn.
And it's possible maybe that may work out for Andrade too, because if Triple G, if he gets beat up by Canelo and he retires afterwards, that would be great for boxing, but it would free up them two belts. And if Andrade does fight Janibek, so this would be a plus side if he does fight Janibek. If he does fight Janibek, he could hold on to his belt and he could fight whoever the winner is, or whoever inherits that belt from Triple G.
Right.
Hopefully, because I don't know who they got in line for them belts. You know how that shit go. Nigga put a few $100,000 on the books, and then they are mandatory.
Give me
listen. I think Andre could be undisputed at 160. I really feel he can, bro. Right,
man. I wish that these sanctioning bodies could force a mandatory on unifications or something.
Yeah,
that should be cool right there.
You remember?
Wouldn't that be
remember
nice?
Andrade was trying to he tried to petition the WBC for Charlo, and then immediately came up with this mandatory for Janibek.
Yeah.
Did they even give him a response? The WBC?
I think what's his name? I don't know I can't remember if it was what's his name, Suleiman, who rejected it, or if it was Varkasel, the WBO president, that poo-pooed on it. I think it was Varkasel. He pretty much shitted on it and was like, "Oh no, he needs to fight Janibek."
That shit crazy that he would want that fight over Jermall Charlo.
To answer your question, Katie, Lara is considered the middleweight champion. Eubank, Munguia, Murata are top 3 in the WBA.
Oh my lord! An episode
in the IBF, Falcao, Michael Sarafa, and Wojcicki are top 3.
The fuck?
Yeah, I never even heard of Wojcicki. Looks like he's a Belgian dude.
Now Falcao was supposed to be the eliminator fight with him and Janibek. That Danny Dingham joint. But Falcao had that head injury when his forehead got split.
Who, Falcao?
Yeah. He
fought since that Voney fight, I think.
That's the one when his forehead got split, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that was on the what's the name undercard too, the Bud undercard.
Yeah.
Y'all hear see what Mo Shika say? Shika say the WBO counted Canelo versus Plant as a defense for Canelo. Funny thing, they announced that right around the time Andrade versus Parker was being promoted. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
wow.
They
I ain't heard about
mandatory.
that.
Nah, they can't call that a mandatory. Then Caleb Plant had the WBO.
No, he had the IBF.
Oh, he had the IBF.
Yeah, he had the IBF.
Yeah, but how can that be a mandatory fight?
Because that's the point, Bo.
Right.
They move the goalposts when they fucking want to.
Oh my goodness, great.
That was my point earlier.
Yeah.
When,
that was the first thing you said when you came on, right?
Right. That was the first thing I said. Like, when it
Oh.
comes to Demetrius Andrade, we can't go and give him a super belt. You know, no, that's too much like right. You know, it's too much like right because let's be honest. Like, is there a chance that Andre could lose to Canelo? Yeah, everybody could lose. But fight showed why that motherfucker never wanted that smoke with Andre. And people got mad when Andre said, yeah, he got beat by a basic style. He did get beat by a basic style. He literally got beat by 2 goddamn punches. Straight right, jab.
The 1 and 2.
1, 2. Straight right, the fucking jab.
I think we was spamming that shit. Like,
right. And then what was crazy about that, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, I'll let you go, bro. But what's crazy is Canelo's trying to bait him against the ropes. And dude backed up. He's like, no, I ain't gonna fall for that shit.
Yeah, that shit.
Canelo
schooled the shit out of that dude.
And to be honest, I thought Bivol took it easy on Canelo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did he, bro? He could have stopped him if he wanted to, bro. But I think he just didn't want to stop him because he wanted a rematch.
Right. He was like, no.
I honestly feel because he could have stopped Canelo easily.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if y'all remember that boxer that died about 3-4 years ago, Dadashev.
Yeah, I remember that.
The one who he lost the fight and then he pretty much passed out after the fight was done. That was Bival's boy. And if you notice Bival's fights, like after that, that's when he really kind of took the foot off the gas in his fights. So when people go and say, oh, well, Andre doesn't finish fights, around that same time, Bival was doing the same thing where he was just like keeping guys who he should have fought or should have just gotten rid of. He kept them in the fight because he was just like, okay, yeah, jab.
Yeah. Damn, I knew him and Bivol was boys and whatnot.
Yeah, I think he spoke at his funeral, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because Bivol started off, he was like 13-0, 11 knockouts. Like he was getting motherfuckers out of there. And then he just went on and just said, I'm just going to box you up to death, and that's it.
And I mean, that's the thing, though, too. Like, if you really, once again, is when people talk about, Demetrius Andrade ain't fought nobody. I'm going to go take a look at this right quick. This is since 2017. Who the fuck is Cedric Agnew?
Cedric Agnew.
Trent Broadhurst.
Sound like an accountant.
Sullivan Barrera. Sullivan Barrera never even held a fucking belt. But y'all always say, oh, man, he never fought a champion. Isaac Chilemba. Jean Pascal. Well,
Sullivan Barrera was a good
last
fighter.
3 are credible. They're credible.
But he was shot though. After Andre beat the shit out of Barrera, he was no good, bro. That nigga.
But Barrera was never a champion,
right? And never,
which is always the argument against Andre. He never fought no champions. Chilemba was an IBO champion. I know that's not recognized as one of the 4 major belts, but whatever. Pascal, yeah, he was old and he was roided up. Joe Smith, I want to say that was
old as shit. You forgot to add as shit.
Yeah. Joe Smith. That was before I think he won the vacant belt against Vlasov.
I think he could have got Joe Smith out of there too.
Yeah,
he won by unanimous.
Smith hurt him too, though. Twice.
But that's the thing too. He was UDing up until Canelo, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, He had 7 UDs in a row. Castillo was a UD. And I remember that fight. He was getting booed during that fight. That was during the Usyk undercard. We fought that
Lennon Castillo?
Yeah, Lennon Castillo, yeah. That was during the Usyk undercard. We fought that one guy, Witherspoon. Craig Richards. Never was a champion.
That was a good fight, but Bevo was coming off a long layoff too for that fight.
Yeah, almost 2 years. And Umar Salamov.
I saw that fight. That whole fight is actually on YouTube. That one, I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep a couple times. Yeah, I mean, I had to keep watching it. Like I had to watch it 3 times just to watch it straight through. Like, cause to me it was so much of a one-sided fight. But I was like, damn, dog, like, you know, could at least knock his ass out.
But that brings up my point is that the same criticisms that people have for Andre, you could apply those criticisms to Bivol. And the fact that I guess, I don't know, maybe it's because Andre has the balls to actually call this guy out and Bivol plays the humble role, quote unquote.
Nah.
That's why they don't like him.
Yeah, but we know. There's two differences there.
I know. Oh, I know. Some things don't need to be said.
Right.
You know, but I mean, that's all it comes down to is the fact that Andre has the balls to actually call these guys out and say, hey, I want to fight you. And then when they say, oh, well, I ain't got to fight Demetrius Andrade, then they go and come with the excuses. And then they come with 150. Well, at 154, he didn't fight Lara. He didn't fight Charlo. He didn't fight Korobov for the vacant belt. All this other shit that they always bring up to try to discredit the guy. And then they try to say Demetrius Andrade ducked
Deryevchenko.
Bro.
Yeah, this shit.
Dude, I literally went straight to Twitter. Michael Benson, who's one of the most credible boxing reporters, literally said they agreed to the terms. They couldn't find anybody to be able to host the fight. They couldn't find a channel for it. So how's that a duck? And somebody was like, oh, he tried to fight Triple G around that same time. Okay. Like, I couldn't find it. Like, I'm the type of person I will go and search this type of shit. I couldn't find nothing on that as far as him trying to fight Triple G in late 2017. And even then, his first fight at 160 after, well, no, it wasn't his first fight because he fought Fox. His first fight with the Zone, he went to fight Billy Joe. Billy Joe pops hot. After a long layoff. He was off, I think, for about like 14, 15 months. So you can't say this guy's scared of a challenge when he's willing to challenge a champion after a 15-month layoff. And then the champion goes and pops dirty and then runs up to 168 to fight Shifat Asufi for a fucking vacant belt.
Shifat.
Yo, you know what's so crazy too? Like when Andre is trying to fight Billy Joe, right? I remember a lot of people say Billy Joe's a nobody. But Billy Joe fights Canelo. Oh, that's a good win. Like that's the part I just don't understand right there.
You know what's crazy is, and some people disagree with me on it, but I know some people are like, man, Plant outboxed Canelo. Nah. I always said there was the opposite, that Billy Joe was looking better against Canelo than Plant did.
Yeah, Billy Joe was looking good. But Plant was looking good at the beginning. I ain't gonna lie. Plant gassed out, and then he started asking questions. Hey, you know, how good I look? You know, am I doing good? Like, that's the part I was disappointed with that one.
That tells you his mentality.
You know,
if he had any power, bro, he would have gave Canelo serious problems.
I mean, the fact that he's been out this entire time says a lot. You know,
shit, he got that. Shit, Canelo talking about Andre want a payday. Fucking Plant got a fucking payday. This dude wasn't even making $1 million, before the Canelo fight, and he get $10 million for that fight.
Shit, like the only one who's really fought more than one fight since he fought Canelo was Callum Smith. Billy Joe, like he's been off since he's got fat.
Yeah, look like I saw the pictures, man. I said, "Damn, man, that motherfucker look like a serial killer and shit."
Man, looks
like a
what's my man from the Great White Hype? James Reaper Roper. Eating all that ice cream and shit. He's like, man, shit, I'm rich now.
He looked like one of those fucking pedophiles and whatnot. And
right.
Shit, man. Looking at them pictures, I'm
Dude,
like,
he
man,
got his millions. He's good. Once Canelo broke his eye socket, he was like, man, fuck it, I'm done. And he was winning.
Yeah, he was. And
he was winning. I'm like, that's the part that pisses me off. I'm like, bro, you were winning the fight. All you had to do was finish.
Now he was winning, but what about on the actual scorecards? Was he really winning?
No, he was winning on the actual scorecards at that point.
Wait, who are you talking about? Who y'all talking about?
He was winning. He was up, I think, by a round.
Because I'm just saying, because Bivol beat the shit out of Canelo, and somehow that was a 7-5. Floyd Mayweather beat the shit out of Canelo. Somehow one of the judges scored it to draw.
Oh my god! I swear, Canelo and the judges. You know what's funny is like I was watching that fight. I'm like, man, they about to fuck this dude at this fight. Ain't no way they about to let him win this. And so when they read, what was that, 115, 113, I was like, yeah, they about to fuck him. There's no way they're gonna let him win this fight.
My guy Cash say, I like GGG, by the way, just throwing it out there. I don't know how you like GGG, fam. I don't get it. He says, I also think he beat Canelo in both fights. He did beat Canelo, man. But GGG, man, I just don't like, just like my Bo said earlier, he didn't fight Andre Ward when he said he fight everybody from 154 to 168. And then when it came to Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo, this dude just plays keep away. He plays keep away. I mean, after the second Canelo fight, why not try to unify with either Andrade or Charlo? I don't get it. He went after Murata, which was clearly the easier route. Okay, fine. You know what I mean? You beat Canelo. Okay, fine. Why don't you come down after Canelo and fight Andrade or Charlo? In between the second Canelo fight and the third Canelo fight, it was like 2-3 years, bro. Like, why not go after Andrade or Charlo? Either one of them would have been more than happy to get in the ring with you, bro. That's why I don't respect GGG. After he lost to Canelo and he lost his belt, the dude decided to go the IBF route, knowing full and well he could have fought one of them other dudes. So, I just ain't got no respect for Triple G, bro. Again, he's only been in one weight class, but he hasn't fought the best middleweights in the division over the last 5 and 6 years, So, he can get the fuck up out of here, man. Fuck Triple G. I feel you though, Cash. You my guy though, but fuck Triple G. But go ahead, what you were gonna say though. I think somebody was gonna say something. Go ahead.
I'm good for now, man. Anybody y'all want to say something else?
Yeah. Get Triple G ass out of here, man.
Get him the fuck out of here.
I tell you what, man.
Is this?
I like Triple G.
Who man is this?
I like Triple G in his trilogy.
You like him in this trilogy?
Yeah, I'm looking for that Marquez moment too.
You picking him to win, beat Canelo?
I'm picking him to win, and he can only win by knockout because he ain't gonna get it on the scorecards.
Not at all. But I got Triple G winning this one too.
Hey, it'd be legendary if he win though, because if you think about it, Triple G he'll be undisputed at 168, and he'll have 2 belts at 160. That's pretty dope.
I'm not even going.
Yeah.
I just saw a tweet. I'm sorry. Every time I see this dude's takes, I just be like,
cringe.
You're not this dude. Like, if you know who I'm talking about, the dude ain't even old enough to join the military.
Oh hell.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I don't know who you talking about right now, but you can say his name. I ain't got no problem with that.
Mighty Max.
Name the names.
Name the names, man.
Name the names.
Mighty Max Boxing. This dude has some of the worst fucking takes on Twitter.
I think I ran across one of his videos one time on YouTube. It was actually an okay video. I don't know about the rest of his takes, but I know the video I ran across it was good. I think I subscribed to his channel actually.
He said GGG still beats everyone at 160.
What the fuck? How?
Man, fuck him, Cash. I can't stand that motherfucker.
He must be a Triple G fan.
Oh, you gotta be a Triple G fan in order for you to say some shit like that. You don't avoid niggas for 4 years because you can beat them. Come on, man. I don't believe that shit. Not even for a second, man. Not even for a second.
And I don't care if he's a kid, bro. Fuck him. Shit. That's like me debating with like one of my nephews. Like that's like me debating like basketball with one of my nephews, and like they talk about like Ja Morant, and I'll be like, yeah, Ja Morant's good, but shit, like his other point guards is better than him.
Hell no, boy.
He said, fuck them kids.
Yeah. Fuck them kids. Yeah. For real, man. Hey, man. Triple G, man. That's just one of them niggas I don't like, bro. That's that shit I don't like. Triple G. Yeah. He had the opportunity, in my opinion, to do so many good things in boxing and just didn't. Triple G had almost as many options as Canelo. Took none of them, So he don't get no respect from me, you know what I mean? Other than a guy who did what he did. Cherry pick, avoided fighting the best, did the bare minimum, you know what I mean? Look for the paydays,
I mean, Triple G benefited from having a machine HBO back him to pretty much their death.
Yeah. Yeah.
They backed him to their own detriment.
Oh, yeah.
It killed their boxing division.
Yeah. So they were like, you know what? We're done with this boxing shit. We don't fuck with it no more.
And I'm not one of those people who's like, man, they gotta be American for me to support them. I'm not that type of guy. But it ultimately, the fact that they weren't backing American fighters was the death of HBO boxing. And I mean, like, it's a sad state, like that's why we kind of have the situations that we do now in boxing with all these entities and nobody wants to fight each other.
Facts. My guy Boxing Hog 28 in the building. He said, what up, my guy? Salute to you, Boxing Hog. He said they be ducking Andrade 100%. Yeah, they be ducking. Go ahead, what you were saying though.
But I mean, like, I was reading something like a couple of weeks ago. Somebody was saying that Andre's style is toxic to fans.
What?
And the thing that pisses me off about a statement like that is when you say something of that sort, you're saying that all you want to see is rock'em sock'em robots in. You don't think that styles make fights.
But it's not true because these same dudes love Lomachenko. You love Lomachenko. Oh, he's the Matrix. He makes you miss. He makes you pay. His defense, his footwork. Lomachenko is so great.
He's downloading information.
Right. But hold on. Andrade is boring. What? Devin Haney is boring. What?
I mean, but it's a machine. That's all it is. Like, these machines, they will push who they want to push. And then we're just sitting there like, okay, cool. Like me, I don't fall for the bullshit. I can tell when someone has an agenda and that they're trying to push. So, when I hear ESPN say that Lomachenko never lost to Salido, and I'm like, that never happened?
That shit never happened.
Right. I'm like, that never happened. I'm like, I'm supposed to just omit that from my mind.
They changed that shit to a draw.
That shit was all in your head. That shit never happened.
Like, what's that? The Mandela effect?
Yeah.
You think something happened, but it never did?
Yeah. Fucking deja vu. Or not even deja vu. That's the wrong shit. Mandela effect. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really hope with this next crop of boxers, that's in their 20s, the Boots and other guys like that, that these channels and these promotions start to learn that they need to work with each other, because this shit is ultimately killing the fucking sport.
Oh yeah, facts. And the younger generation is definitely learning too. Like Devin Haney, I really like how Devin Haney's moving his career right now. You know what I mean? Where, you know, he's going after the big fights. He's doing it the right way. He's promoting himself. You know, and look at what he just did by getting.
Ooh, that's a good fucking question, Cash. Ryan, you gonna make me think on that. I wouldn't have an order though.
Okay, salute to my guy Cash for the $5 super chat. Salute to you, fam. He said, "Panel, name your current top 5 boxers in order." You say you ain't got an answer for that?
No, I said I don't have an order. Like,
you don't got an order. Okay.
Yeah, like I definitely don't have an order for it.
Yeah, I really have to think about the order, but I give it a shot. You know, I got Bud number 1. I got Usyk number 2. I got Jermall Charlo number 3.
Interesting.
I got what's his name? I got Inoue number 4. And I got 5. Who I got?
Hold on real quick, Bo. Cash, are you talking about pound for pound boxers, or are you talking about favorite fighters? Which one are you talking about? Because I understood it like your top 5 boxers currently, like favorite fighters. Or are you talking about pound for pound? But you could do both, Bold, if you want. You can go ahead and do your pound for pound top 5, and then you could do your favorite fighters right now, your top 5, however you want to do it. It's on you.
Yeah, number 5. I'm gonna put Canelo at number 5. Even though he did get his ass whipped, I'm looking at like the whole body of work. You know what I'm saying? So I still have Canelo at number 5, but I got Jermall Charlo at number 3 because Jermall Charlo, he technically wiped out the division in a way, even though he still got more fighters, like these new crop of fighters coming out now.
Okay. All right. C's, you want to go next?
Yeah.
Man,
you talking about pound
I'll
for
bring
pound?
this up after he finishes. Hold up.
You talking about pound for pound or favorite? What you want?
Cash said the best to you, so just like your favorite fighter.
Your favorite fighters. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like your favorite fighters right now.
All right, well, yeah.
If you saying favorite to watch, like I got Bud number 1. 2. I like if you talking about liking to watch, I like Benavidez. I love watching him.
Benavidez is a beast.
Yeah, I love watching him fight. Mel Charlo, I love watching him. 4, I'll probably say 4, I got Loma. And then I'll probably go with I like watching the boy in a way too.
Daddy.
In a way, okay. All right. As far as me, I'll go to okay, I think y'all all go. I'll give my top 5. I'm just gonna give my top 5 favorite fighters right now to watch. But of course, you know what I'm saying. Andre, I love watching Andre. Shakur Stevenson, he's another dude I love watching. I'm more of a fan of more technical fighters. To me, it doesn't take, dudes that have like a lot of knockout punching power. I'm not, I don't particularly like watching them unless they come with a lot of skill. Like Tank, I think Tank is very skilled, but he also has knockout power. So I like watching Tank. That probably would be number 4. And then number 5, it probably would be like probably would be Boots. But I haven't really seen enough of them to really
I haven't seen enough of them either.
Yeah, I haven't really seen enough of Boots. So
I mean, his last 2 fights been like punches behind the head.
yeah, for real. I like watching Wilder too. Wilder is interesting. I'm gonna get 6. Fuck it. So I'm gonna say Wilder 5, and then 6. I'm gonna say Keith Thurman. That's gonna be entertaining for y'all right there. Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman is always usually in real entertaining fights, man, because he's usually in them fights that he gets hurt once or twice, like real bad, and you think he's gonna get knocked out, and the shit don't happen. So I like watching Keith Thurman, man. I gave my top 6. I like them dudes right there, you know. But if I'm giving my pound for pound list, Bud is number 1. I got who will be number 2? Usyk is number 2. Number 3 will probably be who will be number 3? Maybe maybe you could say Inoue. You could say number 3. Number 4, I got Canelo. 5, I got Jermall. Actually, I'll put 4, I got Canelo. No. 5, I got Canelo. 4, I got Jermall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then 5, I got who will come after him? I don't even know. I don't know. I think about it a little bit.
You say you got Canelo at number 5, right?
Yeah, I got Canelo. I think I got Canelo number 5. Yeah, and then I think I got Devin after him. I got Devin maybe like number 6, something like that. So that's where I'm at with it. See what Boss Hog talking about. Boss Hog say they want black fighters to get their brains bashed in so that when they old, they can laugh at them like James Toney. Okay, Boss Hog, I hear you. I Am Campbell says, I think Triple G has a chance to win. I think he got a good chance to win too. I think Triple G got a really good chance to win. You know what I mean? But the odds are definitely stacked against him. The dude is 40 years old, man, and I know he's a good fighter. I think that's what everybody fears Andrade, and what C's was saying earlier. He's a good fighter, but he's 40 years old. He didn't even really look good against Murata. We're keeping it a buck, and Murata's a bum, bro. I'm just gonna keep it a stack here. Look, I ain't got no patience for Triple G. I ain't got no patience for Canelo. Murata,
he can't take them body shots either right now, man. He is visibly hurt from them body shots.
Who else can't take body shots? Canelo can't take body shots.
Canelo too. I was gonna say, Caleb Plant hurt him with a crazy body shot. It was in the clinch. If you peeped it, I watched that fight a couple times over. Yeah, and a lot of people do not go to Canelo's body.
Right,
like he don't like them body shots.
Yo, you know what I think it is? I think when cats got a chin, their body ain't that tough. You know, because that's the same with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman got a chin. You go to his body, that motherfucker spitting out the mouthpiece, trying to get more air, shit.
Dancing around. Yeah. That boy be moving around the ring fast as fuck. Hey, Keith Thurman got a horrible poker face. That nigga, he immediately hurt. Oh my god, bro. I'm like, yo, Thurman, you gotta really sell this shit better, bro.
Yeah, the poker face mean everything, man.
Nigga know exactly when they hurt your ass, bro. For real. You know, the best fighters to me, like when they get hurt real bad, like they'll smile a little bit, you know. Like they give you like a little grin, you know what I mean?
Just shake their heads like they didn't affect them.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Cash say probably why he avoided Spence so long. Yeah. Them body shots. Yeah, man. Honestly though, I'll say this too, and this is gonna change the whole direction of the conversation, but I'll say this and y'all can get y'all opinion on it. But I think Keith Thurman is a tougher fight for Bud, at least the older Keith Thurman. This new nigga Keith Thurman, I don't know. But the older Keith Thurman, I think, would be a tougher fight for Bud than Earl Spence. What y'all think about that?
I don't disagree with that. I think stylistically he is a tougher fighter. To me, when it comes to Bud and Spence, I think Bud washes Spence. Like washes him. You know, well, maybe not now because Bud is getting older, but I know if they'd have fought like 2 or 3 years ago, Bud would have washed that dude.
Yep.
I think the style matchup just don't favor Spence. It really doesn't. But even Spence hasn't fought a fighter like Thurman who can fight off the back foot. He fights stationary. That's just what they've been matching him up with, stationary guys. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason probably why he ain't want to fight Thurman. I know he was chasing him down. I ain't saying like he's scared of him, he wasn't fighting, but he don't fight that type of style. You You can look through his resume. There's none. Zero.
Sure don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Thurman would be a bit a tougher fight. Like, I don't know if you saw, somebody posted a video on Twitter of it was like 3 different times where Spence got hit to the face, and he did the same thing he did against Ugas, where he turns around, and somebody was like, "Oh, he does it as like a tactic to
tactic."
No, as a tactically, he spit like he tries to stop the fight, pretty much.
Oh no, hell no!
Like he'll spit out his mouth, like you just said about Thurman. He'll spit out his mouthpiece,
to
try to get the ref to buy him time. And I'm like, no, when he gets hit in the face, and this was before the car accident. I want to say like it was one time against Swift. So it's 2 times, but it was one time before the car accident where that happened, where he took like shots to the right side of the face, and it was like it stunned the hell out of him, and he turned around. And for some reason, like they don't attack him. I don't know why, but if that happened with Bud,
it's a wrap.
That dude's a dog.
Yep, it's a wrap. Shit, they're gonna run out of mouthpieces fucking around with Bud. Get the ring. Shit gonna be bad, boy. I'm telling you. Yeah,
but they were saying like Spence got like some dentures or some shit in his mouth. That's why
I heard somebody say that shit, Bold. I'm like, how the fuck do you know this nigga's dental record? Like, what? What are y'all niggas? What?
No, he really do.
He got dentures, and you know what I mean. I done heard some people are like, how the fuck y'all know this shit, bro? Like,
that's because when he did his first interview back from the car accident, he was talking real funny, so everybody was like, "What's going on with him? What's wrong with him?"
Niggas hit up his dentist and shit, huh?
He lost his teeth in the accident.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the accident. He lost his teeth.
Shit. Okay. Well, shit. I done learned something new. I ain't even know about all that. He lost his teeth in the accident. I'm like, damn, bro. I done heard some niggas say, "Oh, he had a teeth malfunction in the fight with Ugas. That's why he spit up his mouthpiece." And I'm just like, what? I'm like, well, how the fuck y'all know this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know. You don't know. Somebody. Do y'all know about the teeth malfunction?
I'd never heard about this.
The malfunction with the mouthpiece. That's what it was. I'm saying it wrong. The malfunction with the mouthpiece. That's what I'll be hearing.
Yeah, because they were saying the same thing happened with him against Danny Garcia.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? All right, bro.
Yo, speaking of the Danny Garcia, man,
I was just gonna say that too. Go ahead.
I remember that video you did with that dude. What's his name? Field Dog or something like that. He's like, yeah, Bud ain't fighting nobody. He ain't fight like a Danny Garcia. I was like, what?
That shit was hilarious, man.
But if you ask Earl Spence fans, like, these are the names that come up for Earl to have this awesome resume. This should be baffling. I'll be like, oh yeah, Bud got a trash resume. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought the level of competition Earl fought. And he'd be like, who did Earl fight? Danny Garcia. He'd be like, come on, man. And then they'll bring up Sean Porter and Kell Brook, right? They'll be like, Sean Porter and Kell Brook. I'll be like, Bud fought him and beat him quicker. Oh, but they always got like a new goalpost movement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were old. Kell Brook was washed. He only had one eye and he was past his prime. You be like, the dude is younger. He's a year older than Bud. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? If he's past his prime, Bud is past his prime too. You know, Sean Porter was gonna retire. He was gonna retire before he fought before he fought Earl Spence too. You said he was gonna retire. So like you're discrediting the win for Bud Crawford. It's like you discrediting the same win for Earl Spence. So it's like these dudes, bro, they don't.
I just had that debate with somebody. I'm like, how you basically saying it? So if Earl beats Bud, it's not a big win because he beat, but he just shitting on all of his opponents.
Right. Exactly.
They so retarded they don't see the shit, bro. It's crazy.
It's just stupid. And then also too, bro, if he ain't fought nobody, why the fuck do you want to see the fight? Oh, y'all don't want to see the fight. Y'all don't want to see the fight. He ain't fought nobody. So why you want to see the fight then? If he ain't fought nobody.
Shoot,
You niggas,
the new shit that gets me now is that they be trying to accuse Bud for holding up the fight. I'm like,
oh my, sign the contract. Sign the contract, Bud.
Like Earl Spence done held up that fight for 4 years.
4
All of a
goddamn
sudden,
years.
Bud is holding up the fight according to them.
Man had an Earl Spence clause in his contract. You kidding me? Fire this promoter.
Hey, one of my mods blocked
street.
this. Hold on, who's this fucking dude spamming, bro? Some nigga came in here with some weirdo shit. Hold on.
Oh, yeah,
Block this dude. You see that shit?
What's
this dude, man?
Probably some bot, like a robot or some shit.
Yeah, you can't do that shit through StreamYard.
Kick this dude the fuck out. Yeah, time out. You block your ass. He the first person I blocked. Okay, hold on.
Oh, that's that's a bot.
It's a bot. An error. I'll put that in. Yeah. Get your ass out of here with that shit. The fuck? That shit made me itch. When I see them little like advertisements, that shit made me itch. I'm like,
that was Earl's witness protection team, bro. He got them niggas paid in advance.
Control that nigga channel, bro. That nigga talking shit. Yeah, you already know. It is what it is, though, man. Shit. Yeah, man, but I think we're gonna wrap up this stream, man. We done been on here 3 hours and 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna wrap this one up, man. I appreciate all y'all for sliding through, man. I'm gonna let y'all give y'all final thoughts, and then we're gonna wrap it up. On you, everybody fears Andrade, man. Final thoughts, fam.
Well, I'm assuming within the next couple of weeks we about to hear that Janibek and Andrade has been is going to purse bid. Honestly, I'm ready. I'm probably gonna end up going to that fight, like, and because I really want to see Andrade finally get his just due. And
he's not gonna get it with this though, but I hear you.
And I honestly, if it at the very least, it's a couple of content creators and a couple of trolls that I just want to be like, fuck you too. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, like, it's a reason why, at least from my end, like, it wouldn't be no everyone fears Andrade if y'all didn't talk so much shit about the guy. I'd just be under my normal account. You know what I'm saying? But y'all force my hand because I feel like y'all don't respect the fighter that's that good. But as always, it's good talking to y'all, man. Like, I love chopping it up about this boxing shit. Like, I wish I had more time to be able to do it these days, but like I told you, you know, fatherhood calls. So,
hey, yeah, man. Oh yeah, we know what time it is with that. Okay, salute to you, fam. Okay, my guy C's, man. On you, fam. Final thoughts.
Yeah, another great show, fam. Great show. Thanks for having me on, man. Thanks for having me on. I greatly appreciate it, fam. First thing, I want to switch that top 5. I want to switch that last one to Anyway. I got to take him out. And after I heard what you said, it was quick thinking. Boots is what I got to put in there in my last one. I love watching that motherfucker fight.
Good.
But yeah, man, it was a great show. It was a great debate, man. I hope we hear some news on Andrade soon, man, because this Bud and Spence shit is just like, it's exhausting, man. I'm not even gonna sit here and fucking, you know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. Now I'm not about to, you know what I mean? I'm just fucking, my energy is low for that shit, man. Like my faith for the fight happening, man. Fuck. But you know what I mean? You know, I wish, I pray and hope that shit happen, but I'm gonna just look out for something for Andrade, man. Yeah, and hopefully he can put his foot down on something and get the ball fucking rolling. He deserved it, man.
Yeah, man.
That's my take, man. Salute to y'all.
100, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to you for coming through, man. Bold and understanding, man. It's on you, man. Final thoughts.
Yeah, man. Great chopping it up with your guys, man. My only thing that comes to boxing, man, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with boxing because I just wish boxing clean up the, how they rank or the ranking system or how fights sell and stuff, because we know when it comes to boxing, sometimes is when you have a name, it doesn't necessarily mean you're pretty good, because Jake Paul got a name, you know what I'm saying? But he's not good at all. So I wish they had it where as though, like, if you're a threat in the fighter, like they will promote the hell out that fighter, regardless if the fans love or hate him or not. They need to promote that boxer who's pretty good a lot more than somebody who's real popular based off a family name or some other shit like that. That's the only thing I hate with boxing. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask you, man. I want to, if you ain't mind, if I could clip like some of the like the video you had last week when we was all chopping it up. I want to put that like a clip on my page and whatnot.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Of course, you got my permission, man. If you need anything, bro, you feel free, bro.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I was looking at the video earlier that you put out the other day, man. That shit was funny as hell with the one dude. He was talking about the easy route and shit like that.
Oh,
Who took that route? Who took that route?
That shit was funny. That dude was funny right there, man. He's like, what do you understand? They both on the PBC. That's the easy route.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. Yeah,
Bro,
they would be funny.
Undertaker choke slammed the shit out of that nigga, bro. You want to talk about a body bag? You body bagged the shit out that nigga, King David. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, Bo set up Bo through the alley-oop, bro. I just finished.
Oh my god, that shit was perfect, bro.
You know what's crazy? Y'all talking about that. I'm gonna end on this. Y'all talking about when y'all doing y'all top 5. I just saw an article that LaRon Richards just left Matchroom because he can't get fights. So for anybody who wants to blame Andre for his lack of fights, there's more examples that these fighters ain't able to get the fights through Matchroom Boxing.
Damn. Cold-blooded. See, man. But they only choose to believe that it's the fighters when it's a fighter that they don't like. If it's a fighter they don't like, then hey, yeah, it's the promoter, and then people get logical when it's not them guys. But when it's fighters they like or fighters they don't like, they always come up with these delusional reasons why. Logic and reasoning all goes all the way out the door. So that's all I have to say about that. But but yeah, man. I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. Y'all see what the final numbers for the poll is, man. What do you think who do you think Demetrius Andrade should go after next? 46% of y'all voted for Jermall Charlo. 29% of y'all went it for David Benavidez. 19% of y'all go for Yanibek Alam Kaluli, and 4% of y'all go for Zach Parker. Honestly, there's a good you can make a good argument for Demetrius Andrade going after any of these guys. They're all good fighters. I think naturally the fight that makes the most sense is the Jermall Charlo. But just like we were talking about a little bit earlier, Jermall Charlo is a guy who for the last 4 and 5 and 6 years have been eluding a fight with a Demetrius Andrade. So it's just hard to believe that anything is going to come to fruition when it comes to a fight with Demetrius Andrade. That coupled with the fact that he's with the PBC, who seems to be anti-Andrade for whatever reason. I guess because of the fight that happened years ago with Jermall. I don't know. But they seem to be anti-Andrade. And then the people that voted for Yanibek Alam Kaluli, I'm not against that fight. Like I said earlier, it'll make for a really good fight. But it's a fight that in my eyes for right now doesn't really lead to much for Demetrius Andrade if he was to take the fight and beat Yanibek Alam Kaluli. Now, I like what Knockout said. I like what Bowl said in regards to, Yanibek, maybe a ESPN deal being done because Andrade is a free agent at this time. So maybe he could sign a long-term promotional deal with ESPN and Top Rank in order to get this Yanibek fight and maybe some future fights on Top Rank, for whatever decent money he could get. But honestly and truly, that's the only way I see this kind of being beneficial. Also, too, we talked about how after Triple G more than likely loses to Canelo, that maybe those belts will free up for him at 160 pounds, which would be pretty dope because Andrade could go after the winners of or the people who inherit those belts after Triple G drops them, which there's still no guarantees in that regard. But, you know, that's the bright side, right? We're looking at a glass half full type situation where that's concerned. And then you talk about Zach Parker, and a lot of good stuff we were talking about on this live today. We discuss a Zach Parker, and we talk about Andrade going that route, but apparently, according to Everybody Fears Andrade, according to another commenter in the comment section, apparently Canelo's last fight versus Caleb Plant was counted as a WBC or WBO mandatory fight. It was counted as a fight, not a voluntary, but a mandatory fight for whatever reason. So that means that Canelo's not eligible to take another mandatory fight for probably at least another year, which means that going that route for Demetrius Andrade will be a long-term deal at best, right? Which, even with that being said, there's still no guarantees that Andrade gets a crack at Canelo. And even what he does, if he gets that belt, then he ends up in the same situation at 168 that he's in at 160. So I think Demetrius Andrade, although he's one of the best fighters in boxing,
I just put the link in the private chat.
Oh, you put the link on there? Hold on, let me go to the private chat. Let me take the look. This is in regards to them counting it as a mandatory.
Right.
Okay. Let me just click on
this
it.
From May.
This is from May. Michael Benson. Okay, so I'm just going to share it with y'all so y'all can see, because I think it's actually very interesting information. Share it with y'all so y'all can see it. So going into what I was saying a little bit earlier, the WBO Gustavo Oliveira has now revealed that the WBO sanctioned the Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant undisputed fight last November as a mandatory defense for Canelo, which is crazy as shit. You know what I'm saying? Crazy as shit, meaning he does not have to make another mandatory defense versus Zach Parker for 18 months after that, y'all. That's crazy.
That's sickening, bro.
That's
sick.
Bruh, I need to have.
I never knew this, bro.
Yeah, I ain't know that shit either.
So Andrade got no reason to go the Zach Parker, right?
See, so that now see, that's why he was like, man, fuck this, my shoulder hurts.
Right. He about to fight this dude for no reason. It's literally okay. Wow. See what? So that okay. I'm gonna have to do a whole separate video about that.
Mm-hmm.
But for y'all, man, you know what I mean. This is pretty much the long and short of it. My opinion has changed so many times, even over the course of this live, because I've learned a bunch of new things that I didn't know prior. You know what I mean? But I will say this for Demetrius Andrade, he should try to get the biggest fights possible right now that he can get. And if he can't get them, go ahead and fight this Yana big dude, man, and get him the fuck out the way, man. But you know, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up on that note, man. Let me read some comments real quick before I go. My guy D-Ray Promotions says great content, King. Appreciate you, D-Ray Promotions. My guy I Am Campbell says Bud says the announcement is real soon. What? Hold up. What did he say that on Twitter? Hold on, let me check my Twitter right now, because we might have to keep this show going depending on what the fuck I see. Hold on. Wait a minute. Shit. Yeah, I'm fucking up the mojo with this news. Hold on a second. Mention. I don't see nothing on Twitter. Is that on Instagram or something, fam?
Unless it's like a fight hype thing or some shit.
Fight hype interview. I don't know. Drop the link. I Am Campbell. If you got some information, drop the link so we can see what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? My guy Steel in the building. Salute to you, Steel. D-Ray Promotions say we bout Canelo. Yeah. We bout Canelo. WBC. Yeah. That's what that is. Mellow Smith says they announced it a month before Andrade versus Parker. Plant and Canelo happened months earlier. Oh my God. That shit's crazy as fuck. Just like what you were saying earlier, everybody fears Andrade. So they announced that a month before the fight. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't blame him for being like, man, fuck that shit.
Fuck this fight. Yeah, fuck
Good,
this fight.
good looking on
I
that.
found
information, bro.
something on that. What Bud said. I guess it was a fight hype video that he said real soon.
It was a fight hype video.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the back chat.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Not down the line. Terrence Crawford gets update. Not down the line real soon. Update on Errol Spence versus. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Let's read this article, y'all. Okay, let's postpone the departure real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna have to.
Sorry, man. I done held up your show, man.
It is what it is, man. Hold on. I'm good with this.
How you doing?
Let's remove that. Yeah, let's share the other screen. Video file. Oops, that ain't what I was trying to do. All right, so I guess we're gonna end the show with a Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence announcement. According to this article here on sportskita.com, Bud Crawford is quoted by saying, "Not down the line, real soon." Terrence Crawford gives an update on a potential Errol Spence Jr. fight. All right, so let's read this article real quick and see what's going on.
Is this a foreign article? Because look at the date on that.
Oh, the date says August 4th, 2022.
This must be like overseas somewhere.
Yeah, that shit do look a little sus. Yeah, maybe it is.
Hold on. You know what? I just found a video on Twitter. Give me like 2 seconds. I'll link it.
Okay.
Hold up.
All right, you know what?
Shit. Sorry. I don't know if y'all can hear it through my end.
Yeah, we can hear it. Go ahead and play that.
I'll play it then. Hold on.
Errol Spence wants it. He wants it. Everybody wants it. It's possibly going to go down one of the best fights in American history. Talk to us a little bit more about that. You know, where's the status of that as of right now?
Oh man, you know I love that fight. You know, hopefully, you know we can get that fight made. You know, down the line, and you know, real soon. Not down the line, real soon, and you know, give the fans what they've been looking for.
That's it. 25 seconds.
What's the date on that one?
That was somebody clipped it. That's from earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it in the back chat. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that's the Twitter link I found it on. Like I said, I'm assuming they probably posted it today.
Okay, you just put another article back here.
It's just like the Twitter. That's the Twitter. The video from Twitter.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It doesn't sound like it. Okay, somebody saying it does not sound like it's happening next. That's what they say in the back. I mean, honestly, it just kind of sounds like more the same based on what I can see, what I see in here. Unless it's something else.
Yeah, that sounds like more of the same to me.
Sound like
that's what I got from it.
Yeah, it sounds like more. I mean, you know, it's good though because they're still talking positively about the fight. You know,
yeah.
What I mean? I like it. You know, but you know, we've been hearing this for a good few weeks now, so you know, hopefully they're wrapping it up. I think I did a live maybe like 2 weeks ago or something where I was like, "What percentage do y'all think the fight is to be done?" There's people out there that think the fight is already done, and you know, most of this going on is just capping, but for me, I think the fight is only at 2 weeks ago. I thought it was maybe like 75% done. You know, because I still think they're working out some of the finer details involved in the fight. So, you know, I think that's what's kind of happening right now. You know, they're working through some things. I think Steven Espinoza, he did an interview and he said there was some sort of snag or something like that. I remember him using a word like that. Like there was some sort of snag or some sort of standstill that came.
Yeah, he was saying this. Yeah, some shit like that. Like they stuck. He said they were stuck.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna actually hop off on that.
Yeah, you say what now?
I muted my damn self. I said I'm about to hop off, man. I'll holler at y'all later.
Oh yeah, we are about to take off, man.
Yeah,
We are about to take off, man. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show, man. You know, I appreciate everybody for coming through. My guy, Everybody Fears Andrade, Bold, C's, you know what I'm saying? My guy Steele, you know what I mean, D-Ray Promotions, you know. I am Campbell Cash, you know what I'm saying? For the $5 super chat, I am Campbell. You know what I'm saying? All my guys that was able to pull up and talk some boxing with your boy. You know, some of the guys I ain't seen in a while. My guy Mango Juice 07 was in the building. GK Black, D Young done pulled up on us. You know what I'm saying? Buckle Up Boxing Talk. You know what I'm saying? Some of my guys that pulled up, I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. And talking some boxing with your boy, man. We'll be back next week, man, Wednesday, man, with some more boxing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put up a poll later on today, and I'm gonna ask y'all what y'all want the next show to be about, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna let y'all vote on the next show.
Hey, can I make a suggestion on
Oh
that
yeah,
next
for sure.
show?
Yeah.
So I seen a tweet that came out with the WBC talking about they had a convention saying something about transgenders going into women's sports and whatnot, like boxing and shit.
The hell?
And you know, I saw that tweet, right? And I guess it was, you know, a convention they had. And me personally, I was really bothered by that. I was like, why would they have basically a man fighting a woman in boxing?
Yeah, that's crazy as shit.
And this is the WBC trying to determine whether they're gonna implement it or not.
Wow.
That's sad.
Wow. These people are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Wow, bro. Just when you think the world can't get more twisted, bro, shit like that happens.
Right.
Shit crazy, bro. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I'll do a whole show about that, but a damn show might be worth doing a video about it. That show would be dark as shit. Y'all like that type of content, man? Let me know, man. Y'all like that type of shit, bro? You know what I'm saying? I need to do a show for y'all. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like if you just made like a short video. I was thinking about talking about it one time, because I was like, when I read it, I was so mad. I was thinking, like, if I was to ever do a show about this, my shit would probably get flagged, because I'd be fucking cursing my ass off, fucking,
yeah,
you know, being like, what the fuck is wrong with the WBC? You know, just F-bomb and everything and shit, just because that's just crazy, man. They can't even allow women to enjoy their own sport,
right?
Without having, you know, some transgenders join in and shit like that. What? Because it was like an MMA fight before, where a transgender woman basically beat the shit out of a lady. Then it pretty much broke bones in this girl's face and shit.
I've seen that, John.
And I was just like I can't believe they sanctioned that bullshit.
Right. That's just crazy. The shit's going real crazy, like left with the whole men and women shit. Like, you know, they already trying to promote women to be men and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? Now you want to try to put women in. Come on, man, stop it, bro. Like, you know, the man. Yeah, I may do a short video about that, bro. But yeesh, you know, that's a little on the dark side. I try to, you know, want to keep it more boxing, but you know, shit. I do want to do a live for y'all though, like my peoples out there who, you know, who support the channel. I want to do a live for y'all, you know, where y'all pick whatever the live is about, and we just discuss whatever that is. So I'm gonna put up a community post and ask y'all what y'all want the next show to be about, and whoever put in the most, you know, whatever get the most votes, or whoever say yes to the whatever the most, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do the show about that, and we're gonna rock out like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's crazy, man. Transgenders in the ring fighting women, and come on, man, that's just crazy. That's why I don't like too when fighters, and I love Clarissa Shields, but I don't like when she says she could beat men. I don't like that shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you could beat a few guys and stuff like that, it just sets a bad precedence. You know what I mean? Overall, you know.
Yeah, I can't stand hearing that shit neither. Because if you remember, it was the other chick who was one of the greatest female boxers of all time. She actually went in the ring and fought. I can't remember her name.
And Wolf.
She fought a man, and this nigga was a novice.
Yeah.
And he beat the shit out of her, knocked her out.
Yeah. Yeah. D-Ray, you stupid as hell. D-Ray say maybe transaction division.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I saw this shit in the group chat, man. I was so mad. I was like, man, they gonna allow these damn transformers to come take over the fucking joint.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. Hell nah, bro. Yeah, I ain't. Nah. That's just not something that we you know, that ain't something we promoting over here.
Not at all, man.
Not at all. All right, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. I appreciate all y'all, bro. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that goddamn like button. But until next time, I'm gonna highlight y'all. Peace.